Yo. It's Grapsody with Will, Phil, and Reg, trying to keep it real instead of what you usually get from these talking heads. It's Grapsody, we're here to fill the void. 3 black fans, different perspective, got to fill your voice. Coming with the podcast, talking majors, indies in between. Yeah, it's all that, and we're down with Fightful, better fall back. Coming for respect, we connect like a ball bat. No need to double check, these are all facts. You're listening to us talk raps. You're listening to us talk raps. Will, Phil, and Reg. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps. Yeah, we're Grapsody, here to talk raps.
Welcome. It is I. It is he. This is Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. Of course, I am here with Righteous Reg. What's going on, y'all?
Your favorite rapper, your favorite writer, your favorite podcaster. Saturday morning, it's Grapsody Podcast. I'm here with my homeboy, Philip Lindsey. What's good with you, Phil?
Good. Multiple things are happening. It's all happening.
All happening.
I was laughing at certain things before I sat down to do this podcast. But yeah, I'm good. The Indiana Pacers, I keep thinking this team is gone. You just cannot count this team out. You cannot put this team away. It's crazy. I don't know, man. This team is just like a team of destiny at this moment, man.
I think Halliburton likes slander because I watched him get slandered the game where he was having leg issues and people were like, this guy isn't tough. He don't really want to be there, all this stuff. I'm like, oh, they're talking crazy about my guy. My guy came back. The team came back and rallied to get to a game 7 somehow, Phil. I feel like last time we talked, we were like, yeah, the next game it's over. Like game 6 was going to be the little dagger. It's going to be finished. But no, these boys are not done. And I'm super excited about it. These have been some exciting games, some back and forth fights, and it's fun.
Yeah, I thought it was definitely over last game. The home crowd in Indiana was very loud for last game, as I expected. That clip going around of them praying before the game and Siakam's head pops up with his eyes rolling back like the Undertaker is really, really funny. Hilarious. And people are like, Siakam's doing like voodoo and dark magic. That's how they keep winning. Something's going on, man. He's back there praying to Jobu or something.
So I don't know. Whoever light he touched back there, it worked because them boys came out to play. This boys came out on Demon Time, so he might have been going the other way. I don't know, Phil. I don't know these days.
I don't know what happened, but man, yeah, Thunder did not play good. I was surprised that they didn't look good, and Indiana came out hot. They were hitting all their threes early. I was like, yeah, this is we're on a different time.
That was what was surprising because game 5, they could not hit a 3 to save their life. And they just kept attempting. And I was like, if they keep going to the swell in game 6 and it doesn't work, it's going to be bad. But shots started falling for them. Things started happening and they made it through. I still don't know who's going to win at this point. Now, I thought that Thunder had it locked up, but it could be fatigue at this point because they've been playing pretty hard up to these games or, being a young team, you never know.
Yeah, believe the stat is this is the first game 7 in the NBA Finals since 2016. Of course, That was the year that the Warriors blew a 3-1 lead to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And we know how that went. Cleveland made it to game 7 and won that series. Game 7 is dangerous, man. Anything can happen in a game 7 situation. That's why Jordan always was like, no, I don't trust the game 7. If I don't put a team away in 6 games, then we're going to lose. So, yeah, all of his finals victories, he beat a team in under 6 games. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, you gotta be worried if you're the Thunder. Because you've given this team life so many times. I mean, they came onto your court game 1 and beat you when nobody thought they could win. And every time people are like, this team's gone, they somehow pick up a win. I don't know, man. Odds got to be in their favor to potentially win a championship now. They just have to win one more game.
That's it.
I don't know, man. It's this could go either way, but I think that's great. I think this has legitimately been the best NBA playoffs in a long time.
Mm-hmm. Like all these, because people have been talking about these small market, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, these teams are hungry. These teams are ready to win a championship. These cities are really behind their teams back. Like it feels like really good energy surrounding the finals too. So it's more than just like some games. Like there's a lot behind it and it feels good. They're great. Everybody's playing really well. Got one more game tomorrow, and then that's it for basketball. Phil, what are we going to do with our lives?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but yeah, it's been great. For me, cannot get that into women's basketball at the moment because our team sucks. Our team is not good. I at least had that to hang my hat on before when the Bulls weren't good. That hey, at least the Sky are all right. This Sky team is not good.
They brought y'all a chip though.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Candace Parker. Came back home, won a chip, one of the greatest ever.
Yeah, one of the best to ever do it. Like an unbelievable player. I've been trying to get out to a Valkyries game, so I guess I could move into that after.
They looking pretty good. 500 right now. They had a big win the other night against Aces.
Like in the Bay is behind them. Like every time I go outside, I see their merch. Like it feels like people are excited about it.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad that the popularity of women's basketball from last year has continued. It doesn't feel like there's been much of a drop off. Caitlin Clark is still bringing people out to see games. People are still excited about hoop. New York Liberty still look like the team to beat coming out of the championship from last year. So
Caitlin Clark still with the controversy. Every time I open up my phone, that clip of her being like, the homegirl being like, you can't do that. She'd be like, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Just like crazy.
Bro. That clip of her talking trash back and forth with homegirl, and she's like, I'm not afraid of you. Hilarious. Like her eyes got all big. I'm not afraid of you. Hilarious, bro.
It feels like that's her go-to thing to say. Like, are these girls being like, I'll fuck you up? Because like that's always her first response is like, I'm not afraid of you. Like, I'll fight you out here.
Yeah. She's had to, get tough. Yeah. She's had to get take on some toughness. Homegirl hit her right in the face the other night, and she flicked homegirl away, and then her teammate came and shoved her down. Then her teammate like tried to like sling somebody out of midair and slammed them to the ground. I was like, whoa, you can do that? And
I don't think you could do that.
She's somehow not suspended. I don't know how that works, but all right.
No, she hit a wrestling move. I think that was an actual, like I've seen somebody hit that in a ring before, and I was like, I don't think you could do that in a basketball court at all. But rules are a little bit different in other places and when other people do things.
Yeah. We'll have I don't know. I'm not a baseball fan, so we'll have baseball stuff soon. I'm not much of a baseball fan. Sox are trash right now. But
I want to go to a game, a Giants game. That's about as far as it goes. But like, I'm not keeping up.
I do want to get to a game. I always have fun when I go to games because I feel like that's baseball. Baseball is very boring at home, but like actually going to a ballpark and watching is different because it's a social thing.
Sometimes I'll be like, let me tap in, turn a game on, and I'm like, let me tap out real quick. Immediately. It happens so fast. Like the sounds of the game happen. I'm like, it doesn't even look like anybody's having a good time. It's different, like you said, when you're there, but watching it is just like watching paint dry. It feels.
Yeah, no. When Sox were winning, we're having a good time for a little while.
That was fun.
Yeah,
there was some good energy there.
Yeah, when the games were on WGN and it was different times. My man used to yell after every home run, you can put it on the board. It was good times, man.
I want to know why you saying WGN just sparked a memory. In California, we would get WGN for some reason because I remember watching Bozo the Clown would come on WGN like hell.
Chicago staple, man. Early in the morning, get Bozo and then get the news. And that used to be how I watched all Bulls games. And then they took the Bulls off of regular TV and put them on cable. And now they're not even on cable. You have to have a streaming platform to watch them.
Wait, what?
Yep.
You have to have a streaming platform to watch your local sports basketball team.
Yes. Because there was a dispute with Comcast. I don't know.
Always.
I don't know if that's still a thing. Maybe they're going to try and fix things by next season. I sure hope so. But yeah, that was the thing this year. You had to pay for a streaming platform to watch Bulls games in Chicago. And because, Comcast has their agreement with League Pass, you couldn't even watch them on League Pass if you had League Pass.
What is the deal? Why?
Ridiculous. Money. Everybody wants money, Cable companies feels like they should have first rights to local teams at the very least. And so if you have League Pass, you can't watch every team. You can't watch your local team.
Right. Do you know anything with them going, because they're going to be on Prime next season? Is that going to...
Yeah, I mean, they were already starting to show games on Amazon. I know you can watch some WNBA games on Prime. So, yeah, very curious to see how that's going to work. Basketball not being on TNT is going to be weird.
It's them doing all the farewells and all this the last couple of weeks has been like, doesn't seem real. And I don't like it, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah, it was emotional. I was surprised how emotional I got when they were showing like all of the people that have been a part of the TNT team. Never been a big Reggie Miller fan, but Reggie Miller has been a big part of it. Chris Webber, Harlan, of course, Coach Hubie, Craig Sager. Rest in peace to the legend Craig Sager. Yeah, so many faces. I'm like, man, TNT and basketball, man, like they've been synonymous for so long that I didn't even think about it. The entire time I've been watching basketball, almost they've been on TNT.
Thinking about the wrestling connection and when Rodman started running on WCW and they'd be like, we got the TNT thing. They'd cross promote basketball and basketball would cross promote wrestling. Like they've been, feels like I've only known basketball on TNT. So this feels super weird but also kind of par for the course how life is at the moment.
Yeah. Send us your super chats. That is the best way to get your chats read on this podcast. You can also send us humper chats. It's humperchats.com/Fightful.
That's a fact. We always appreciate you guys supporting through super chats, humper chats, and just being here on the show. And so we appreciate y'all. We're going to get to a few of those super and humper chats, and then we're going to move forward. The homie Chi-Town Spurs says, well, it's been 3 days now, and Me Mural is still on repeat in my brain. Kicking out clips, so be it. I think that's one of my favorite entrances of all time. Shout out to Mystico. Phil, it's way too hot today.
Yeah, it's very hot. I went out earlier to get some coffee and came back, and I was like, yes, this is ridiculous. I hate when it's hot like this.
It was so funny because when I was getting ready for the pod, I was putting on a sweater. I have the sweatshirt on. I was all, it's June, and I'm putting on this sweatshirt. Feels weird because Bay Area, Oakland specifically, is known to get summer in like October, so it's still cold over here. I'm not trying to, flex on anybody, but it's a nice day outside.
Yeah, very hot here. This is a city of extremes, man. Either it gets to a point where it's cold, or it gets very, very humid and hot.
And then the homegirl Charlotte confirmed what I've been saying for a long time, that y'all got the worst wrestling fans. So
yeah, look, man, I know Charlotte's hardy, but it's not our fault that you think you can come back and not turn heel when everybody is telling you they want you to be a heel.
Why are you going against this, Charlotte? I don't understand. She's like, no, I'm fighting this.
Not our fault. Now
this is Chicago's fault.
Now all of a sudden we're the worst wrestling sound.
That's crazy. Like, even as a bit, Charlotte, we don't believe you. Like, because we know Chicago. There's a lot where I can name a couple. I've been a part of a couple, I think.
Yeah. The So Be It record is great. Clips are 2 for 2 so far. All the music they're dropping. Man, Malice being outside and Malice reminding people that I'm that guy that at one point people were like, Push is the second best rapper in this group, and you see why after both those songs. He went crazy on both records.
I was like, damn, I think Malice got him 2 times already. This is like, it's not unprecedented because, like we talked about, it originally was like Malice was like the bar, like when it was like bars, get to like the base of what the song is, kind of the heart of the clips. It was Malice. Push was always like the more flashier, like kind of out there in your face guy. So I didn't think it was gonna be like this though, just because it's been so many. It hasn't been a lot of years because he's been continuously rapping, but hearing them together and Push is in a different space, and Malice is just he don't care about none of that. He is rapping like the rent is due, as they say.
Yeah, great record so far. Push being Push threw some shots. That was the big news this week. Him throwing shots at Travis. I thought all of it was funny. My man has done like 3 interviews so far this week telling people like, yeah, no, I don't like this dude. This didn't just come out of nowhere. There's reasons for this. And I mean, his explanations, they make sense. I get it. I get where he's coming from.
Push is the best because he's like, these are the reasons, and here's the dates. On August 3rd, this I'm like, yo, Push is great. We was in Paris. I don't like this fool. He came in ugly. Pusha T, I don't like where we are, Phil. They were calling Pusha T a clout chaser, and I was I don't, you know what? Just I think you guys can have it at this point. Like, if this is what, a lot of people younger generation mostly were like, this guy's clout chasing, and I'm like, you know what? I don't want it anymore.
All right, bro. We gotta. That's why I keep saying, man. Like, people, this used to be the game. People changing like what rap beef used to be, and like, no, we're out of this. I hope this is the end of this era of everybody saying that's my bro, that's my guy. That ain't your guy, bro. Like, stop it, man. Stop all this. I'm neutral, man. I don't want to smoke with nobody. No. Now, all of y'all don't feel that way.
Right. And you can't be neutral when you're not being neutral. You got the fools on. Your number 1 hits are with the fool.
Yeah. No. I hope we're out of the era, but I don't think that we are.
It doesn't feel like it. Like, I even appreciate that Drake he said a couple times in his thing, like, that big bro shit isn't really, it's fake. No. Like, everybody's just trying to be on that in the same whatever category.
No, he's been telling us for like 5-6 years he can't make friends in this industry, man. He don't have no friends. Like, no new friends. All these songs where he's just like a friend turned his back on him. He's been telling us for years he can't make friends.
He does make a lot of friendship records where he says things aren't great. I'm like, wait a second, maybe we should listen to this guy. But he's right though, because it's a lot of fake friendships, and then when we see beefs like this, it's like, oh, the whole time they were faking.
Yeah,
it's silly. Hip hop is silly. Shout out to appreciate that Chi-Town Spurs, very generous super chat, appreciate it. The homie Van Twinblade said it's going to be 100 plus heat index over half the country. Stay the fuck inside, you fucking marks. Drink water, keep your salt up, keep that AC on, stay safe.
Yeah, everybody stay safe, man. Everybody stay hydrated.
We can't go outside, can't stay inside. They're blowing us up. It's hot. Can we just chill? Ever?
It's not.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Van Twinblade. You stay safe too, my homie. Shot-Town Spurs also says, Phil, time to jump on the Chicago Fire bandwagon. The owner just privately funded a new stadium in the West Loop. The vibes are growing.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm not really a big soccer guy, but I had to find something in this city because our teams are all terrible. My dad is doing his usual, trying to sell me that this is going to be a different year for the Bears. And every year he does this. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I hear you. He tries to hype himself up and get excited for this team every year. And I'm like, I know, Dad. I know.
Okay, Dad, I hear you. But maybe this will be the year, Phil. This will be different, though.
Maybe. I saw some of the makings of last year and I thought, yeah, this team's going to be better. And I was wrong. They were not.
Keep the hopes down, then they don't, explode your dreams. I feel you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that, Shot-Town Spurs. Ben Simpner says CHSN is on Comcast now.
Yeah, I believe they have come to an agreement. So we should be able to watch Bulls games on Comcast next year.
It shouldn't be like this. You shouldn't put the customers and the people through the stuff, because Comcast always sends out a notice like, oh, we're losing 5,000 channels. You better call your congressman. I'm like, get this together, dog. Leave us alone.
Yeah, I'm not calling congressman over a TV channel.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not calling my
No.
Comedy Central is leaving. You better call. And I'm like, I think I'm gonna just lose Comedy Central.
Come on, man. We're gonna lose Boomerang, man. How else am I gonna watch those old episodes of Scooby Doo, man? Like, get your congressman on the phone, man. Like, how else are you gonna watch?
Boomerang's in big trouble, you guys. Call up your congressman.
How else am I gonna watch Miguel Gorilla at 4 a.m.? Like, come on.
Magilla Gorilla brothers are 45 years old over here. Call your local congressman now, though, for reals. And then Van Tumble says, Tempest put out a video on why Charlotte sucks. He told no lies. Sadly, Mars think is taking shots at Ashley, and it's not.
I did not see that. I didn't see the video. Well, I did see him when he dropped it, but I did not see the video. I did think it was very funny that people were like, "Hey, man, Charlotte might have a point about you." No, she don't. No, she don't. Stop it, man. Listen, I'm not gonna let you guys do this. Every time somebody gets booed, it's like, you guys are so mean for booing. It's wrestling. Come on, dog. Stop. Why y'all being mean?
It's valid too. It's not just Chicago was like, we hate this person. It's never because we just hate this person. Like, they always earn it.
Bro, you got it. All of the greats know that this is a thing. You're gonna get booed if you're really good at anything, and if you look like the chosen one for any company, you're gonna get booed.
Right. Like, Roman suffered some hard times in Chicago.
I was there at Money in the Bank where they tried to bring Jinder Mahal versus Roman Reigns to Chicago, and we booed that match out of the building. What did they think we were gonna do? It's Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal in 2018. What did they expect us to do?
No, that's on y'all. Y'all don't appreciate
this y'all fault. Right, y'all don't want this match, bro. No, we don't want this match. Nobody wants this match. Stop it, man. Like, cut it out.
And then everybody collectively were like, yeah, we don't want this match. Like, it's not just Chicago. It's all of us. Woo, don't put that on Chicago. They're good. They're a good wrestling place. We know this. Appreciate that, man. Deontay Soignier says AEW, Stardom, and SmackDown was great this week. All love.
Yeah, SmackDown was pretty good this weekend. We'll get into some of the stuff that happened. Very interesting developments.
To say the least. Definitely, Deontay. It's been a fun week of pro wrestling. We're going to get into a lot of it, and I hope the brunch rush is killer today. The homie Jeff L. Jay-Z the GOAT says, great Grapsado reunion. Y'all rubbing eggs on yourself like Denise recommended? No, I haven't got around to the egg thing yet.
That sounds filthy. Rubbing eggs on yourself? Yeah, I'm good. Hold on just a second. Hold that note.
Hold on to your... Yeah, no, eggs are still kind of expensive too. Like, I was in the grocery store.
Y'all wasting eggs in this economy?
We rubbing eggs on each other and not to the frying pan.
Yeah, wasting eggs when they're like $75 for 3. What?
Cresta, I don't have the time to be rubbing eggs that aren't going into a frying pan. I just don't get it. I don't understand.
Eggs, biscuit, green, $75.
Cresta Star is here today, ladies and gentlemen. It's been too long. Cresta, where you been?
Sleep. I made the joke, and I'm gonna be dead ass about it. I've been clocking in overtime in Marvel Rivals, still unranked, but got like 4 Lord characters. So
nah, man, ranked get kind of toxic, man. People be talking crazy in ranked, man.
Yeah,
talking to strangers online. I have my mic on mute. I don't talk to people, and that's why I don't play ranked.
Well,
point, ping it, baby. I can't.
They don't really have mic usage like that on Rivals. Most people are just typing in the chat, and I'm just like, bro, I ain't got time to respond to you in the chat. Like, somebody was like,
type if I'm playing.
Yeah, like somebody said something. I was just like, all right, bro, like, you got it. But yeah, welcome, Cresta.
Yes.
What up, y'all? It's been too long. I've missed the both of you. Y'all had me dying with the fucking Magilla Gorilla, and then you had me dying with the Caitlin Clark. I was like, okay, I gotta come in. I was just gonna lay in bed. I gotta come in. Because Caitlin Clark is like, okay, Ann, I'll fight you.
No,
this is basketball.
For real.
Yeah.
That's her energy every time. She's like, what's up then? Let's fight. I'm like,
she learned her lesson after last year, bro. Like, I ain't playing with y'all, man.
It was dragging her all over that court last year, and she was like, you know what? I'm gonna get in the gym during this off season.
She came in this year with the Street Profits name. When you see this,
Stop.
you know it's fire in the building, fire in the building. No, that theme go hard, bro. I was sitting there the other night. I was like, nah, this is kind of alright. I like this.
Listen, the game is the game. The face of the league. Play her song is all I'm saying. Play her song.
And speaking of the face of the league, when y'all were talking about Charlotte too, I'm like, girl, listen, I live for Charlotte, but I know they're gonna boo you. And Chicago, not even the worst. I live in New York.
Chicago's not the worst. Chicago's not the worst.
No,
have you been to a Texas crowd when they really don't like you?
Hey, listen, man. Look, I've seen it, man. Look, I've seen the whole rollout since she's come back. She's been coming back like, look, I'm trying to give y'all these fits. I'm trying to have positive energy around me. I just got out of a breakup. I'm trying to do the positive captions under all of my glow up videos and all my fit videos. Look, I want to be loved. I want to be appreciated. I feel you, but this is still wrestling, dog. Like you can't do that. You can't tell the fans what to do. The fans are not gonna. The more you tell the fans, don't boo me. We know how this is gonna go. You're gonna get booed.
And wrestling fans don't forget, you know.
No.
Yeah. Petty. Like we booed Cody for no reason because he didn't turn heel when we told him to.
Bro, this is the city that threw Cody's weight belt back at him. You thought you weren't gonna come here and get booed? Like, what do you think this is?
These people are on a different level, Charlotte. And like the timing, like you were in the worst. She put herself in the worst position, and you thought Chicago were gonna be the one to be like, yeah, we like this. No. Absolutely,
Chicago's worse. The worst, but also not the worst. I feel bad for Charlotte because it's like I want to turn over a new leaf too, but people's like, "You the same leaf, bitch." What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Listen, man. Like I said, I get it. I get it. I see all the positive vibes she's trying to throw out. I see the energy. And look, she did have a very traumatic situation. Could have been a career-ending injury, and it took her a long time to come back. Had to miss 2 WrestleManias, and. So I believe her when she's like, no, I missed this. I'm happy to be back. I feel you, but the fans are still the fans. Don't forget.
Some fans are like, I don't care about none of that non-kayfabe stuff, okay,
none
pal?
Of it.
I get it as a person, but I like Charlotte. So it's always a rough time when people are like, yo, get her. I'm like, yikes.
Well, when people try to play both sides, I think is the thing. Like Phil was describing, she's on Instagram being like, motivation, we're doing this, I'm coming back, but then on TV you're a heel. How do I can't cheer you for the things I see on Instagram and then
she's an
boo
actor
over here.
That's not real. Stop it. It's not real.
No, man. Look, you can appreciate who somebody is, and when they come on there as a wrestler, that's different. Like, bro, you're coming on here as somebody that for a long time was beating everybody's favorites and winning all the time, and you never really got out from under those accusations of nepotism, and people didn't forget that.
And then she did it again when she came back. It wasn't like it was an old one. Like
right back and won the Rumble.
Who came back? The old Mimi. I thought you turned over a new leaf, but it was the old Mimi. Again, I'm messy, so I lived for it. I'm like, okay. And that wasn't even the worst because I remember Beast in the Bank. You weren't even in that match, my guy, and you won it. So, okay, all right, I'll give her that. That's not even the worst. That's not even the worst. But like you said, wrestling fans, they're elephants. They do not forget. And they hold grudges for you said my favorite pop sucks? Oh, to the death. To the death.
Yeah.
To the death.
And like your daddy's Ric Flair, there's always going to be that still. No matter how much you say you hate this fool in promos, no matter how much you try to get away from it, wrestling fans are always going to remember. They're still going to compare you to him, even if it's been 20 years. So you're still going to have to eat that too, you know?
Yeah. Look, this is, and I was saying this in our group chat. I don't think people understand the disposition of most Chicagoans. This is a city that has had to listen to for the entirety of at least my existence in this city that every other city is better. LA is better than us. New York is better than us. And so we have this huge chip on our shoulder like, nah, this city is better than that city. And people that are loyal to this city, there's a reason why we're loyal back, because people leave here and then move somewhere else. And then all of a sudden they become LA guys or New York guys. So when someone stays a Chicago guy, it's special to us. Like the Pope being all the way over there and taking the big Pope hat and putting his socks hat on. We appreciate those things because people don't put on like that for this city. And It's the same way with like
taking the big Poe pad off is hella funny.
Yeah, it is the same way with just like the way we root for teams. Everything I'm saying about how our teams are trash, we're just used to that. We're used to being underdogs, so we appreciate underdogs, and we don't want the Yankees. We don't want somebody that people are telling us to like. Like, you're never gonna get somebody like a Cena coming here and getting cheered. There's a reason why. Even though Punk is from here, we picked Punk because Punk is the underdog. We don't want Cena. We never wanted Cena.
No. He historically got tore down in Chicago. Like, there's like, we don't want. He doesn't represent anything that Chicago likes.
No, that's why I'm like the Romans and like Charlotte stuff. They're gonna get booed here.
But even then, it's like kind of grit it and bear it. Because to your point. I remember when Roman Reigns was getting covered in dog food and Baron Corbin did that bark, 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 bark. And people, even though that was wild messed up and you should be sympathetic for Roman, people were still cheering that he got covered in dog food. So it's just the curl and a burl sometimes. And when you're on, they're going to boo you. Look at how they did Becky. I literally watch people say, Becky, you right. You tapping girls out for weeks. Oh, you getting too big for your britches. Okay, boo. That's just the way it is. I don't know. You might have to stab somebody to get over. I don't know. Maybe right in the ankle. Stab Paul Heyman in the calf. I don't know. Man.
No, I think you're making a pretty good point, Cresta, because I think fans are going to get to a point where they do appreciate Charlotte, but she still has to like get through the weeds of it.
Of course.
You might need a bigger bad guy. Like someone needs to be more insufferable than her. Maybe like if Blake Monroe, if Blake Monroe decided to be incredibly insufferable.
The issue is Charlotte won't let. If somebody was, she's like, actually, no, I'm
the most insufferable.
Nah,
she can't help herself.
You trying to say Blake is gonna get her out of here? I don't think Balake ain't gonna get it done, bro.
Not Balake.
Balake ain't gonna get it done.
Is not gonna be the one. Charlotte is not gonna let anybody do
insufferable, and I think she has her and oh my god, she's in Judgment Day, and she just came from NXT. Oh my god,
Roxanne.
Yes, I think Roxanne has the capability of being insufferable, but I don't think Roxanne can beat Charlotte. But I think Blake could be insufferable, but I don't know if Charlotte's going to let her out insufferable her. It's just the character. It's the nature of the character. I don't know. Even when Alexa Bliss was insufferable, you were like, knock that off.
But Charlotte was still looming in the background every time. Anytime somebody was insufferable, it's like, but Charlotte, though, like she kind of the queen of this. It's kind of her deal.
I'm trying to cap for you, Charlotte. What can I do?
Not nothing.
Nothing.
She needs to embrace it. That's all. If she stops trying to be a hero, nobody wants you to be the hero right now. Your dad was never the hero. He was the biggest villain in the world. If you continue to say, fuck all y'all, I am the biggest villain. But she's like, fuck all y'all. Actually, I kind of like all y'all. But also, I don't like all y'all. But also, I do kind of like it. Like,
that's what I'm saying. You can't do both.
She does that. And it's like, you can't be like, I like you, but also I don't like you.
You can't waffle, bro. You gotta pick a lane.
Doja Cat. I hate my fans, but actually,
bro,
Doja Cat be wilding now.
that video of her hugged up on Doob and then later being like, "And I threw that shirt away."
Bro,
hilarious.
Doja Cat been weird, and I be trying to cap her because of light skin. I'm like, yo, you got this weird light skin girl, but nah, dogs. Ain't she a Libra? Nah, dogs. Libras are weird people.
She can spit though, but like something is weird in there. I mean, she be in them racial chat showing feet, so I get it.
Wasn't she in them other chat rooms being a white supremacist? Like, aren't you?
Nah, yeah, no, I'll be some. I don't. You never know though, Cresta, because people be saying stuff. But I read a couple things and I was like,
it'll look away. Definitely looks away.
I don't know, man. To me, you can't cap for a fan who's like, I love you, I live for you, out there with no security. The next day, you stink, and that shirt was musty. And you was touching me. I'm a woman. God damn it! Like
you didn't even have to say that part. I think homie
was like, I'm gay, and she was. He was touching me inappropriately, and I'm like, I think he just really loved you and your music. I don't think he was feeling that way about you.
Like, even if she did, though, she didn't have to be like, and I threw away his musty ass shirt. She could have just been like, crazy. Hey, I'm uncomfortable. I didn't like this part. Like, maybe y'all chill. But like, and I threw away his musty ass shirt to kick dirt on him too. That's a
promo on him. I threw away your musty ass shirt. I ain't no freaking CM Punk fan. What you talking about?
Listen, everything is wrestling, Cresta. That's what they say.
Truly, if you look at everything in life as if this is a work, I'll never get mad at work again. Why am I mad? You working me right now, pal. Let me just get my paycheck. Goodbye.
Honestly, it'd be kind of making me mad. I'm like, well, stop being wrestling. Like, I want things to stop being wrestling, and everything's like, no, this is wrestling. Please leave us alone. Wrestling's like, nah, here I am. I've been here and I'm gonna be here. We got a couple of more super chats and then we'll move forward. The homie Grapple Geekery says a few minutes behind, but just wanted to say that AEW and CMLL in Arena Mexico was fire. Hanger's promo in Spanish and Brody King's shirt were something.
Yeah, really, really fun night of wrestling. Love it. AEW is on a great run right now. They are on a hot streak.
This is what you want to, the buzz you want to have going into All in Texas. Like this is where you want to be. We're definitely going to get into it more here soon. And then Ben also says, since we supposedly had another pipe bomb last night, who would you like to see it cut a promo on LeBron face to face?
Face to face?
Yes.
I don't know if we're gonna get one face to face, but Stephen A been trying to cut promos on this guy.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't watch basketball, but I'm like, but I feel like Stephen A been on his neck since
Stephen A.
He's been trying to cut promos on this guy all year.
Give them to a mic, put him in the barbershop.
Not the barbershop.
Nah, he wanted to pull up to the barbershop. He kept being like, hey, I want to do your barbershop show. And like I got the call to do it, and he was like, but don't edit anything out. And he was like, well, whoa. You asking us to not control the narrative, Stephen A? Oh, you can stay home.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. You're going to come on and you're going to try to control our net? Nah, we don't do that over here. This is HBO.
That's crazy. Get C3, SP, not SP3. Ooh. Wrong person.
I was like, what are you saying? C3PO?
The other guy, E3, whatever his name is. I forgot. I have his face in my head, but I can't think of his name.
EC3?
Yeah. That guy, yeah. Ethan Page Carter, whatever.
She just mixed up like 5 wrestlers in there. Ethan Page Carter.
Franken wrestler. Do it. And go to TNA while you're at it.
Oh, man. Then James Stalling says, joined in late. Pipe bomb promo was not good. We haven't got into it yet, so.
We haven't talked about it, Stalling, but we will get into it.
It'll be there. We're here. Appreciate you joining us, James. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate everybody's super chats right now. That's all of them for now.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. I guess before we get into this pipe bomb, because there's a lot to unpack with this. I don't know. We'll get into it. But before we get into that, New Japan did have a pay-per-view on Sunday. Really good show. Well, sorry. Let me take some of that luster off there, because I don't think it was a very good show. I think the bits of it that I liked were good, but this was probably the most disappointing New Japan show this year for me. It was a lot of House of Torture stuff. I didn't need that much House of Torture. I mean, from the very beginning of the show, they started with House of Torture stuff. I was like, all right, man.
As soon as Chase Owens joined, I was like, you know what? Just like wheel me out of here, I think.
I mean, it kind of felt like the writing was on the wall for Chase Owens, because when we interviewed Gabe was like, Chase Owens, though, man.
You're talking crazy.
See this guy over here? Like, so I was like, oh yeah, his days are numbered in that group. He'll be out of here. But yeah, we started the show with the big 8-man tag match, and it was Bullet Club versus House of Torture. We got the tease that House of Torture was going to get a new member on this night. And so we got the introduction of Bad Luck Fale, who is now going by Don Fale, who joined House of Torture. This match was basically what you expect. It was a lot of House of Torture shenanigans. It was not good. And then by the end of it, Chase Owens also jumped shit from the War Dogs to House of Torture, and they did the big guitar spot in the match, and they did the after-match beatdown stuff, and I was like, okay, so at least it feels like War Dogs is more of its own thing, but do we really need to start with this House of Torture stuff? And it felt like going backwards, because you did the big cage match that made it feel like this was the blow off to all of this stuff, and then you were going to move on, and then you gave House of Torture multiple big wins on this show, so why did you
erase all of it?
Why did you do any of that?
That Bad Luck Fale slowly walking to the right.
With his beard, and he's like, "It's me, guys. Yeah." I'm like, okay, all right.
It was a "it's me, guys, yeah" type moment. Everybody just like, oh yes, Bad Luck Fale's back.
Yeah.
Sick way to start the show, Phil. I was like, I don't. This is how. But you think like maybe they're getting it out the way, but they weren't getting it out the way.
Yes. Right after that, we got TMDK taking on a team of El Fantasmo and Shota Umino. This match was markedly better from the first match, obviously. I wish this match had just opened the show because this match was solid. Ryohei and Zack Sabre Jr. did pick up the win for their team. Zack Sabre Jr. seems like he will be moving back into the world title picture after his last match here in America and the outcome of the main event. Then this was another interesting decision. We got Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on Yuya Uemura. Yuya has been, on a upward trajectory since he's come back from injury. He's looked great. And so I thought, this is going to be another one of those farewell tour matches for Tanahashi where he puts over a younger guy and, endorses them. Nope, he beat him. I was like, oh, okay. Tanahashi won. And the way he won was just so like abrupt. I was like, oh, why did they do that? And so the only thing I could think about here is that Yuya is going to get a rematch against him before the end of the year because it kind of feels like the way he beat him with the roll up is like, okay, they've got to be going back to that, right? But I still didn't understand why they did that here. It would just, again, like what I was saying with the House of Torture stuff, it felt like, well, why did we do that when we've been really doing the opposite most of the year?
Yeah, I was about to say. No, go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
It felt like a bunch of like booking decisions. Like, where are they going for shock value? Like, I don't understand because you've built something and it seems like you're destroying it all in one night. This show was very confusing to me.
I did not understand that outcome. The finish tells me that we're probably going to get another match, but I was very confused at the end of it. I was like, wait, Yuya lost.
That's why I'm looking at you guys with confusion because I don't keep up with New Japan. That's normally when I'm clocked into my other job, Marvel Rivals. But it's kind of like Yuya, from what I have seen, he's been on an upward trajectory. So Tanahashi, who's on his way out, it would make more sense for you to look up at the lights. Yes. But to pin him with a roll-up, even for Tanahashi?
Yeah, that was
a roll-up regardless is just crazy.
Toni Storm, okay, I'll give you the roll-up because that's like her thing now. But even then, once you reach a certain point, it's like, we're still winning with the most devastating move in the game next to the Yam back shuffle. Come on now.
That was a odd choice. Then we got more House of Torture stuff. House of Torture came out. It was supposed to be Sho and I believe Kanemaru taking on the IWGP Junior Tag Champions Master Wato and Yo. But in the last minute, Kanemaru was like, I'm not wrestling. We actually have a new member. And so they teed this up. They had some new music come on. Doki came out with new makeup and everything. Doki has now joined House of Torture. And the reaction from both Master Wato and Yo of them looking over the rope like, what? How can this be? That in itself was great. The gas from the crowd when he came out was also great because we haven't seen Doki since he got injured at Wrestle Kingdom. So I think people expected him to come back in a big way and get cheered. So for him to come back as a heel, that kind of came out of nowhere. But I do think he makes more sense over there than the
other two new additions.
I mean, the other two, it just feels like we're trying to simplify what Bullet Club is right now. And they're probably going to add more people to Bullet Club. But Doki, I feel like he needed something else. We got to question what's going on at these just Five Guys mixers, because why are these guys defecting and going over there to House of Torture? This is two guys from that group in particular that have left and going to House of Torture. What do you got? You got to be just three guys now? Like what?
Bad management.
They must. Yeah, I was going to say they made some promises that they couldn't keep up because these guys were on the first train smoking to get out of there.
Yeah, but yeah, this was again more shenanigans, more interference. House of Torture did pick up the win.
Yeah,
Doki and Show are the new IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. Did not care for this match, but it's not that the people in it are not good, because all of these guys in this match are talented. Yo is fantastic. He just put on one of the best matches of this year, in my opinion, but the House of Torture shenanigans is just not for me. And there was a lot of it in this show. There was so much of it.
Like every match is filled with it. Like I could see if it's just like, okay, this House of Torture is in this match and there's a little bit, but no, it's like you feel it.
Yeah. Do you think they're the Don Callis family of New Japan right now?
I wouldn't say that, because it does feel like they're trying to push House of Torture as the main heel faction in this company. I don't really get the feeling that Don Callis family is the main heel faction in AEW. It's the Elite, fair. I would guess, but like it just feels like they are just like pushing and pushing to get House of Torture and more things. And it's like, but I don't want this. No. Leave me alone.
The most fitting name, I swear. It's Torture every time.
We did get a better tag match after this, because we got the team of Taichi and Tomohiro Ishii taking on United Kingdom. So it's Callum Newman, Great O'Khan, for the heavyweight tag team championships. This was good. I thought Taichi always manages to give us one of these performances when you least expect it. Callum Newman has a great upside right now. And we got a title change. We got multiple title changes on this show, but I thought that this was great. Taichi and Ishimori are the new champions. Curious to see where Callum Newman goes from here. I have to assume he's going to move into the singles division somewhere, because they've been kind of positioning him in that way. Right. And I hope they keep the belts on this team for a while, because they've been kind of hot potato in those belts all year. It does feel like those belts have had a direction for most of 2025.
It feels like almost every show they're changing at this point. Yeah. They're getting a new direction, a new storyline, and it's like you need to establish these as something. Because what's the character behind these belts?
Yeah, I don't really get it. I don't get it. But never open weight title match was phenomenal. Bold no to leg. Did I say Ishimori, Bruce? I meant Ishii. Sorry. We did get Bold No Leg taking on big superstar Konosuke Takeshita for the never open weight belt. The man. Bolden continues to look like a guy to keep an eye on. He's been fantastic. Takeshita came out looking like a big star with his new white ring jacket on. Yes. His entrance felt like a big deal. This felt like there are a lot of things about this match and his presentation in this match that tells me they've got planned for this guy. And I don't think it was a coincidence that they announced like the G1 and some of the other stuff they were doing. Right now, he's got to be the favorite to win the G1, especially after how well he performed last year in the G1. Right. He's got to be a favorite to win it this year.
That's crazy to think about, because coming out of last year, we had kind of predicted that next year he would have a pretty big year, but they've been booking him so well throughout post that and just throughout his New Japan run that he's a lot closer to the IWGP championship than I would have expected him to be this quickly. He's close. He's already in the running.
Yeah, he looked like.
I'm sorry.
My good.
Not to say I'll be real with you. Even his booking in AEW has booked him like a star. And I'll take it one step further. Don Callis, whether you like him or not, is going to make sure you're on TV, whether it's AEW, New Japan, hell, even TNA. So I see people in the chat saying he's coming in like Rainmaker. And I'm like, I don't like to give people that praise, because even I, who didn't watch New Japan back then, knew about Kazuchika Okada. He was like the Beyonce of New Japan at that point. So I'm not gonna be upset about it, because I like Takeshita, and I think I think there's just a little it factor that he's missing, but he has everything else. He just needs that little bit of, because Kazuchika has that little bit of swag on him. And there's something about Takeshita, while you can wrestle, I still see a sweet guy in there, and I kind of need you to be a 100% asshole. Like, you still look like a sweetheart. I'm sorry. A sweet guy, the cinnamon money guy. I like him.
I mean, the eventual babyface run for him is going to be generational.
Yeah, that's what it's in. That's where he's really going to excel.
Yeah, but this match was very good. Oleg is great. These two guys were throwing each other around. Oleg did this great catch at one point during the match, and I was like, I don't know if you're supposed to be able to manhandle a guy that's that tall, but sure. Kessler is also a very big guy. He's like not small at all, and Bolin Oleg is also very massive. I love that New Japan commentary still calls the F5 the verdict, because that's what Brock Lesnar calls the F5 when he was over there, because he was in the outs with WWE. There's a whole tongue-in-cheek reason why the F5 was called the verdict. And Oleg did a verdict to the outside during this match. And when Chris Carlton called it a verdict, I chuckled. I was like, still call it a verdict.
It's a really funny name.
To hit that move off. Holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, just that when he hit that big move he does where he goes back and forth and then he slams people. He hit that on a ramp. It looks fantastic. To catch that, he kept trying to hit him with the heavy strikes and forearms. At one point he tried to do that to him, and Bootleg just reared back and slugged him. I was like, oh yeah, you're not doing that to him like you do some of these smaller guys. Right. This guy's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he brings a different kind of striking and a different kind of strength than that Takeshita doesn't deal with a lot on a weekly basis in AEW, at least.
Yeah. But this was fantastic. Big upset win. Oleg is the new never open weight champion after a 1-1 series, a tied series between these two guys. Oleg picked up the win here. He is a new champion. That felt like the right call, because when you think of what this division is, this fits him perfectly as a never open weight champion. And this feels like kind of the signal that we're ready to move him on, because every time they've had other people in this division and they've lost this belt, they move on to something else. And like I said, I do think there's a very strong chance that Takeshita is going to win the G1 and challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship.
The way that he looked walking out there with that white, and how the announcement around G1 and how the buzz is around him, like he's expected to have a pretty big one coming up here. Yeah,
definitely feels like it. This was one of the better matches on this show. If you're looking around like, man, you don't have a lot of great things to say about this show, Phil. If you want to just fast forward a good chunk of this first half of this show and just watch the tag match and this match, I would understand, because some of the House of Torture stuff was rough. Speaking of which, we also got Evil taking on David Finlay in a dog collar match. This, of course, was announced after the big steel cage match, because Finlay finished this and was like, I'm not done with these guys. Now, there's a great story that they told of the cage match that Gabe Kidd was the one that picked up the win for the War Dogs. So you can see in Gabe Kidd's mind, I'm done with this. I beat those guys. I'm finished with that. I'm moving back on to what I was doing before, which is championship gold. He was very much not a part of this match. He did not come out with the other War Dogs. He was not in Finlay's corner. I thought that was a very interesting choice. And we'll get into that more when we get into Gabe's match later. But I think that there was a clear line drawn here. And I do think that will play into things later this year. But yeah, this match was not great. And it's disappointing, because Finlay has been so good regularly. He's had so many good matches. I think he gave Shota Umino one of his best matches of the year. But the dog collar stipulation being used, and Evil could just take the collar off when he felt like it, and then they kept doing interference bits. Man, at one point, like they're doing all of the House of Torture guys like have their different weapon of choice that they use, like Clue or something. Like this guy uses a pipe, and this guy uses a push-up bar. It's so goofy. And
like Clue.
But yeah, so all of these guys are interfering, and of course Dick Togo uses that big wire he uses to choke people. It's like,
it's too much. Yeah, when Evo was taking the dog collar off, it's like, well, the point of a dog collar match is you don't want to take it off because you want to get a hold of the other
like
guy.
a DQ or something? Like it's a dog collar match. Why are you taking off the dog collar?
Yeah,
that's how you get heat, brother. House of Torture.
Oh, you're right. My fault.
Yeah, I knew where this was going at one point where the referee got taken out, and it was like, okay, they're all around the ring. They're just going to get involved. But you had the War Dogs in Finlay's corner, and at one point, they just all disappeared. They were there, but they were just all laid out around the ring. And I guess we're supposed to take away that because House of Torture got 3 new members, they have the numbers advantage now, which... Sure, but it still kind of made the War Dogs look silly, especially after, like I said, you made the point that they won the steel cage match and kicked them out of Bullet Club. So why are we back here with them looking better than the War Dogs now? It feels like you're going backwards. And if you don't know, Evil won. Evil won over David Finlay. So it was like, okay, so why did we do any of that?
The cage match. It's like they forgot about the cage match.
That's in the past. Imagine living in the past.
Yeah, like, bro, why are you still talking about the cage match?
So the final stretch of this match was all of the House of Torture guys came in and basically jumped Finlay. They all used their weapons of choice. They put him through a table, and then Evil, of course, just pinned him. Once the referee got rolled back in the ring, they found him and rolled him back in the ring, and he put his collar back on, like, oh, look, nothing happened. Look, I beat him. Like all these other guys that are around, they didn't touch him. And he beat him. I didn't think this made Finlay look good. I didn't think it made War Dogs look good. Maybe that is the point with the Gabe Kidd stuff we're doing, but I just didn't like this.
That's what they say. That's the point. That's heat. That's how it works.
Well, it's not just the heat part. I think that they're telling a story with Gabe Kidd. I think that people have been saying for the longest, Gabe Kidd should be leading this group. Right. And I think it was very intentional that Gabe was the guy that won for the team in the cage match. And then when he wasn't there, they lost. And then in his match, he's moved on. And I feel like there's got to be a story there that they're trying to tell, but I did not like this.
I like you trying to be
House of Torture.
You tried. That's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah, it does feel like that, Marcos. It does feel like Debo. What cage match? It definitely feels like that at this point. Yeah. Luckily, guys, I do think the rest of the show was better. The last 2 matches did get me back into it, but the House of Torture stink on this show. It was hard to rub off, man.
Took a long time to get to them last 2 matches.
It did. It was a good amount of the show was it dragged, man. It definitely
House of Torture was torturing Phil.
Yeah, they definitely had me in a House of Torture. Gabe Kidd took on Yota Tsuji for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Of course, they've been teeing this one up since earlier this year when they had their match earlier, and it ended up in a double countout. And so, as Gabe Kidd said in our interview, and he was also saying after Steel Cage match, all right, I'm done with those Bullet Club guys. I mean, those House of Torture guys. They're out of Bullet Club. I've gotten my revenge on them for the New Japan Cup. I'm going back to what I was doing, which is winning championship gold. And so comes out, has a big match with Tsuji. I thought that this match was good. I don't think it was as good as their match earlier this year, but I did think it was good. It's kind of weird. The Gabe Kidd perception at the moment is very interesting because this guy was white hot after the Kenny Omega match. Like, this guy could do no wrong. And it feels like since he started being involved with the Death Riders and doing more stuff with AEW, people are kind of calling him out. Like, well, why would you do that? Because your character for the longest has been like, hey, fuck these guys, fuck AEW, fuck them guys. Like, I'm New Japan. I'm waving the New Japan flag. So I think part of there is the disconnect here with his promos. I've seen people say, like, his last few promos, it didn't feel like it had the same energy. It didn't feel like he was believing what he was saying. And then even coming out that night and having the Death Rider logo on one of his knee pads. That also played into how he won the match, and
people hated that.
people did not like that. But he still got some big cheers in this match. I think when you look at some of the reaction online, it's very much different than some of the reaction in the crowd, because he was still getting big cheers throughout this match. There's a botch that people were showing multiple times from this match that did not look good. But I think the internet made it look worse than it actually was, because the crowd laughed at it and they just kept going. It's not like the crowd was like out of the match after that. They still were into Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, no, that botch was all over the timeline. That big back bump off the top rope essentially that he took. But yeah, I've seen that after he was on AEW TV and did the thing with Moxley. I saw a lot of New Japan fans specifically being like, he said he would never do this. He was talking against AEW. Why would he go and do this? So the perception started. That's what I'm like. What do you mean? Like, don't you want people to like go up? But I also understand, because they're pretty protective over their brand, and like kind of how he was carrying the flag. That probably seemed a little bit weird. But it also does seem like you're saying, Phil, like the crowd didn't. This is kind of one of those times where this is just on the internet. It feels like
it doesn't feel like the crowd was as loud for him as it has been.
True, but I just think his momentum is a little bit different than it was in the beginning. The heat was different than it was in the previous match.
And I can understand the criticism to a degree, because I can understand people that are saying that it feels like it's too soon, because a big part of the story for the Omega match was, I'm a New Japan guy. Who are you? You went away and you're an AEW guy. I've been waving the flag. You think you could just come in here and get this big Tokyo Dome match? No, your time here is over.
Right.
I'm the guy now. And so for him to then now be, hey, well, I like it. I like being a part of this AEW thing now too. It's like, yeah, but
it was so bad over there.
6 months ago it was a little bit different energy. So I can understand people saying that it feels a bit too soon and there's a little bit of a disconnect.
Yeah.
But I did think this match was good. Tsuji is Tsuji. He comes out with big aura. He comes out with his Carmen Sandiego outfit on. He looks like a big star. I'm kind of wondering, like, when do you get him in the world title picture? When are you going to put the big gold belt on him? Because he feels like he's ready. I've been saying that for like 2 years at this point. But man, the Gene Blaster still looks great. He did the Gene Blaster out of corner at one point in this match, and it still looks fire. I don't know. He's at this point possibly second biggest star in that group.
What do you think's his standing for G1?
I don't know, man. Cause like I said, I still think if I had to pick, this feels like Takeshi's year.
Takeshi's on his way.
But I wouldn't be mad at Tsuji winning either.
Because like last year, he also had a pretty, good run, and he feels like the wrestler that they would tell the story to come back and do it.
Yes. But yeah, I did enjoy this. I did enjoy the story of these guys' rivalry is why Gabe Kidd was here, and by the end, you could see that Gabe Kidd respects Tsuji. I think there were several spots here that were great. Like the strike exchanges were great. The stuff on the outside was great. I mean, even the way it's so funny because even the way Gabe Kidd worked this match was very different. But I've been saying it's only so long you're going to be able to keep this guy a heel. He's just too well liked, man. I mean, the crowd was cheering him multiple times. I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have to turn this guy eventually. It just feels like it's inevitable. But like I said, I didn't enjoy the match. Gabe Kidd did win. Very controversial. He used the Death Rider as a transition into his finisher to pick up the win here. I saw some people that did not like that, but I did think it was a nice touch because he has been hanging around with Mox, and I do think that he respects what Mox stands for more than anything. I don't think it's so much that, oh, he's leaving, he's selling out and going to AEW. I think he just respects what Mox is saying.
What is Mox saying? To keep the title in the briefcase and then you guys are worried? What is Mox saying?
Well, you got to understand what they're saying is very similar because he's like, what happened to this place? Like, this is the company that was supposed to change the world. And you guys are complacent. Like, what are you guys doing now? Everybody thinks this is a party. It's isn't a party. Like, everybody's coming out and happy to be here. You're happy to be in this spot. Hey, Like
and that's liking your job, Moxley. Oh my god.
No, I mean, he's been saying that from the beginning. Like, oh, you're just happy to be here. Oh, we're just giving Brian Danielson a gold watch on the way out. That ain't how this is supposed to go. Like, so I understand Gabe Kidd looking around like, yeah, get on the ass. Like, yeah.
Don't come to work and like this. You should be hating it. You know who you sound like right now? When Undertaker was like, these guys are playing video games in the back. What happened to the old days? You're happy to be here. Going to work should feel like a choice of life.
That's a factor. From Gabe's point too, like he probably feels like you guys are given this opportunity. Like if I had this opportunity, I would be doing something way better and bigger with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that plays into Gabe's kid's story of him and his time in the dojo and how he talked about the pandemic years and like the suicidal thoughts and some of the other things that he experienced. So he's like, man, I worked like a dog to get here and I went through hell to get here. You guys are just comfortable.
Right.
That's fair.
And so I get why he connects with Moxley. I don't think that they've necessarily told that story well on TV, but I do get the connective tissue there. But yeah, Gabe Kidd picked up the win, cut a great promo afterwards in Japanese. And then he very pointedly at the end said, everything I went through to get here, none of that matters because I am IWGP Global Champion. And he called out Tanahashi at the end of it. Does seem like that is going to be a match we get eventually. Gabe Kidd versus Tanahashi. Tanahashi did come down to the ring with his with his street clothes on. Very stylish young man, Gabe Tanahashi with his hair. Tana with the good hair.
With his hair.
He came down and he seemingly accepted the challenge. So it does seem like we're going to get that match eventually.
I'm like, was that the reason that they did this Tanahashi thing earlier in the show? Like, I was like, is that why they're trying to do this? I'm still kind of confused with the Tanahashi result.
Maybe that's why they gave Tanahashi the win early in the night to justify this. But I don't feel like they really needed that because everybody's been just kind of challenging him to have matches this year. He's Tanahashi. He's already had a great career. He already has the prestige. It doesn't feel like one of those he needs to win matches to earn a match thing.
Mm-hmm. Like we would have been like, he hasn't won a match. Why is he getting a title shot? Like it would have worked out regardless.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's Tanahashi. Like respectfully, even Okada could do this. You could go away for 10 months, 10 years, slap some children, come back like, yo, I want a heavyweight title champion. Everyone was like,
got it.
That sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And if people don't see the parallels here, the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship took the place of the United States Championship, which Jon Moxley held. The first match for that belt at Wrestle Kingdom, Jon Moxley was in the match. If you also tie it to Kenny Omega and the way that Jon Moxley joined AEW, jumping Kenny Omega, and his feud with him throughout the years, Gabe Kidd hates Kenny Omega.
Mm-hmm.
The parallels are there. They're so
that works.
Yeah, but good for Gabe Kidd. I do think, like I said, that it's very pointed that he won here, and he separated himself from what was happening with the other War Dog guys because it kind of feels like they're putting him on a different trajectory.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think that's going to play into some stuff between him and Finlay later. I don't know what, but it does feel like they're teeing up something between those guys. I don't know.
Because he's going babyface quicker than maybe expected, huh?
Yeah. Either that or he's teeing up to kick that guy out of the group.
Not teeing up to kick him out. He thought it was being a good guy. Psych.
Yeah. I don't know. And we also got to assume something's gonna happen here with Shota Umino because I've been saying they teased something between Shota and Finlay earlier this year when Finlay won the New Japan Cup. He was like, "See, my way works," and the whole time Shota was nodding. And I've kind of gotten the inclination from that maybe Shota's going to join them at some point, even though he's been saying, "I'm a Hantai guy. I want to lead this group." Something tells me we're not done with that. So we'll see.
All right. Shota.
Main event, we've got Shingo Takagi taking on Hiroki Goto. I thought this was match of the night. Hiroki Goto continues to be my pick for wrestler of the year. He's been tremendous this year. He's been a fantastic champion. This match was very, very good. Shingo continues to do what I love: hit people very hard, stare right into the TV, and point at them. Kata kata kata. Absolutely love it.
Shingo's incredible. I love seeing him in main events for the world title because he's already super intense, but when the world title's on the line, he goes into a different level. He locks into something else. He feels like a guy that could be IWGP World Champion again at some point here.
Yeah, I am wondering when is he gonna win that belt again. And they made a point to say that he's getting the reactions that we didn't see him get as IWGP World Heavyweight Champion because, of course, he was champion during the pandemic. And so it was great to see him in this position again in front of a crowd in Osaka-jo Hall. The crowd reacted very well for him, but Goto is just that guy, man. Those Japanese fans love Goto. And like I said, Goto has been tremendous. He picked up the win here to nobody's surprise, I think, because it does feel like they're setting up Goto versus Will Ospreay for Forbidden Door. I do think that's the trajectory here. We've got a match with Zack Sabre coming up. They announced that for the show, which I'm drawing a blank on, but I don't think it's a big pay-per-view match. But they have announced that match is coming up. And I have to assume, I don't know, man. I've been saying it since earlier this year. I think there's a good chance that Goto holds this belt till Wrestle Kingdom.
I wouldn't have predicted it at Wrestle Kingdom this year that was going to happen, but I'm excited. I think that they see how the crowds are reacting. They see how online fans are reacting. Because I see a lot of people saying what you're saying, Phil, that Goto's wrestler of the year.
Yes.
And I would want to continue that.
Yeah, and they're clearly doing good business here. I think with him as a main eventer, they've got a nice buzz around the company.
Yeah.
And so I would keep this going as long as you can.
Even with the House of Torture shit, there's still great buzz around Goto. So
and they've very clearly kept those two things separate. And I think that's for a reason. Which I hope I'm not jinxing myself.
I know. I was like,
Evil versus Goto in a month. I'm just gonna like roll back into bed and like put all the covers over my head.
Evil's lurking. I know he's somewhere out there. I hate him. The worst.
Yeah. Very uneven show. Very unfortunate with the transition New Japan has been in. Because I thought from starting this year, they've had a string of great shows from Wrestle Dynasty on. They've been on a good streak of shows, and this was not great. This wasn't a great show. Way too much House of Torture.
Yeah, I saw the feedback that I saw from fans after this show was definitely the worst of the year for New Japan. Like universally, people were like, that wasn't really them putting their best foot forward. And it's unfortunate because we're going into a very popular season for New Japan fans and stuff. So it's like you wanted that momentum to continue that they've been having for the entire year.
Yeah, but I mean, you do have some, good things potentially coming up. The idea of us getting Ospreay Goto at Forbidden Door is cool. The title change for the IWGP Women's Championship is great news for them. If people have not seen it, Sari picked up the win over Shuri. She is the new IWGP Women's Champion. And, just what she represents in Japan right now, I feel like they could get so many great matchups with her. And hopefully they do use that belt on some pay-per-views going up. I hope that belt is defended at Wrestle Kingdom again. I would love to see Sari on that stage. She deserves it.
Hopefully it's defended at Forbidden Door too at this point.
Yeah, definitely. Would love to see Sari on that show.
Is it bad that I don't want it defended at Forbidden Door because I think Mercedes would take it from her?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think if she defended, I would love to see someone else.
Not Mercedes.
Challenge her. I mean, you could do the Tekla match. I don't know what Athena's doing by then. Maybe Athena versus Sari. That's kind of what I'm crossing my fingers for. Because I don't know. Athena versus Sari sounds like it would be fire.
But Athena's got to win. Athena's got to win, though.
Yeah. I don't think she has to win.
Well, I'm a stan, so I'm always gonna say that. And I've seen Cirie wrestle before. She looks good, but I'm sorry. Athena should be where Mercedes is, and that's just because I'm a stan and I like Mercedes.
I hear you.
I like Mercedes. I do. So maybe they just need to fight to the death for my sports entertainment.
They do.
Yes. We did get saying in the chat, we did see Bozilla show up. They did the hoodie gimmick at the Stardom show, which
that's wrestling now.
But yeah, Bozilla showed up. These are two wrestlers that have done some appearances for Marigo. As a matter of fact, Jose is asking. He says, "Question for Phil: what does Cirie winning the IWGP Women's Title mean for her and Marigo?" Well, Cirie is a freelancer. I don't think she was ever specifically with any company. So I think she was already doing more than one company in Japan anyway. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I think that's a good sign though. I think, man, Bozilla is one of them ones. Bozilla is going to be a massive star in this industry soon. We got to see her wrestle in person during WrestleMania weekend, and she is fantastic.
Presence. Big presence.
If she is going to do more with Stardom, I think that's great. But yeah, I don't know, man. So many things depend on what happens at All In, because Patrick's saying as well, if Tony loses at All In, Tony versus Cirie is also a good option. They got some options.
Yeah.
I would like to see Timeless Tony versus, because I think that would just be a fun match. And even if Cirie wins, I wouldn't feel so bad because Tony's just been doing a lot of good work. So even when she loses, I'm just like, girl, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
My feelings have changed on the Mercedes and Tony. We'll get into it soon on who's the winner. Every week I'm like, it's gonna be Mercedes. Now I'm like, it might be Tony. I just don't know at this point.
Yeah. I feel the same way. But I wish I had more optimism coming out of the Dominion, but because I don't know. I've been hyping up New Japan all year, like we're back. I didn't feel like we were back after the show.
Gato he likes to do that sometimes just to throw people off. Like everybody's like having a good time, and he's like, you know what? House of Torture, let's do it.
That's crazy.
Let's kick it.
We
know ball. Actually, we've never played ball a day in our lives.
What's ball? What's that? I don't know. Never been there.
Yeah. I believe we have more super chats. We definitely have more humper chats to get into.
Yeah, let's get into a few super chats while you pull up them humper chats. Say My Name says CMLL and AAA, we need more Lucha Libre on TV. We do. Lucha Libre is one of my favorites in all of pro wrestling, and we saw on display the last 2 weeks that when you give it a big stage, that they're going to destroy it every time. So, let's keep doing it.
And the Mexican crowds are amazing. I don't know what they were singing for Mystico, and also them hating Atlantis Junior and Atlantis. I live.
Can't believe it. I was having FOMO the whole time of not being there, but now even more, I'm like, yo, I gotta get out there.
You gotta go to Arena Mexico.
Definitely gotta pull up. I appreciate that. Say My Name. Redmond Survivor says, hey y'all, I lost my dad on Monday after a 7-year battle with cancer. Hardest week of my life, but happy to have some Grapsody as a distraction. So thanks to y'all. Redmond, we are sending love to you. Super tough time. It's just, I'm happy that we could give you any kind of anything today. Talking wrestling, you've always been a great supporter of us, so I'm happy to help in that thing because it's a lot to go through, man.
Sorry for your loss. Condolences to you and your family. It's tough, man. It's losing a parent is very difficult, so definitely understand that part of it. But I'd like to take it easier. Sometimes it doesn't. It just but just keep good people around you, stay in good spirits, hopefully. But again, condolences to your family.
Yeah, I'm sending my condolences too. Take it one step at a time, pal. It's okay to cry.
That's a fact. It's okay to disconnect too. That's my favorite thing.
Absolutely. It's okay to, take some time away from
it. Gone.
Preserve your mental health. Danny Phantom, go Ghost.
Sometimes you got to do it, man.
It's too much. It's too many things.
Yeah.
1916 Batman. The other day, again, I'd like to thank you. Again, you're being very generous here today. I don't know why. I don't know what we do to deserve it, but I appreciate you for
Y'all are the guys
submitting the super chat.
Oh, wow.
You are all awesome. Thanks for being voices and reasons and all the wonderful takes on music and wrestling. If Hangman loses, we riot. I just,
definitely starting to feel that way, man.
At this point, I like John Moxley, but at this point, it's got to be somebody because I'll do it myself at this point. It's got to be somebody.
Somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it.
Wrestling has been such a dirty bitch sometimes. Like, I just feel like they could do it to us, you guys. Like, we could get there, and then they're like, Jack, actually, Moxley's keeping the damn belt in the briefcase for another, who knows.
Somebody's gonna post that meme of you looking at the camera with like, "Prepare yourself for disappointment, wrestling fans." That is
Nicki Minaj music shitting on him.
Bro, speaking of that list that Dax put out,
yo, Dax,
yo, my man,
what's up with Dax though?
Dax put out his list of crushes was crazy. I saw that, I was like, Might no ball.
Specifically, Gina from Martin, like
deep cuts in there. He very specific era of Nicki Minaj. Bees in the trap. Nicki Minaj.
My man,
not just Nicki, specifically the bees in the trap. There, I'm like, what's up with Dax though?
Very funny.
Down south guy. He said besides his wife, so he made sure he put his wife first.
Nah, he made sure to stay in on brand of I love my wife. But Alicia Keys, like y'all seen her? Like
if I wasn't married, I'd be a loose man, and this is my list.
Yeah, I mean that list though. I was like, hey, no, I kind of hear you though. I'm listening to you.
I was like, hey,
looking at his list, like,
yeah, he does know ball. But again, 1916 Batman. I don't know who you are. I don't know what you are. But we love you.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Very generous super chat, man. Thank you.
Batman.
Batman.
The homie Leonard Aarons III says, read Dominion. Why can't we have nice non-House of Horror shit?
Yeah.
That's great, though.
They keep telling us that House of Torture is one of in Japan, that they're like, that's where it's at. They're super over there. It means more, but I'm still like, I don't know, man.
They are very popular over there. Their merch does do very well.
Right.
So yeah.
And they keep telling me that merch sales and money means more than anything. So
we got to chill on some of that, man.
I wish they would.
People that do the numbers thing, like people are trying to do that for Jim Jones this week. And I was like, guys, please calm down.
Okay, hold on. I'm out the loop with that. Why are we doing numbers for Jim Jones?
So there was a clip of a kid that was like 22 years old or something like that. And he was saying that Jim Jones is more relevant than Nas because to his age group,
Nas.
Nas, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but he was saying to his age group, like Jimmy has influenced like the way they're dressed. Like he listens to way more Jimmy. He was saying, nobody goes to the club and asks for a Nas record, and all of these things. And so, Jim Jones was on Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast, and Fat Joe asked him about it. And Jim started doing it. Well, we not gonna act like I'm not. I was like, all right, let's.
We are gonna act like that.
Yeah, he started pleading
from New York.
Yeah, he started pleading his case as to why, and then he was saying, if you look at my Billboard entries and all these other things, and I was just like, no, Nas has more Billboard entries than you. Nas has bigger cultural records than you. Nas has better albums than you. This is not a comparison. What are we talking about?
All his metrics that he was using, I'm like, none of these. You're not beating Nas at zero metrics. None of
those metrics. Like, all due respect, as a New Yorker who knew how big diplomats were back in the early 2000s, I'll give you that. Maybe locally, cultural influence and people in Cali love diplomats. I don't know. That was a Harlem thing. I don't know. But that being said, there's no Jim Jones record that I could think of off the top of my head that's better than the wackest Nas. got yourself. You kidding me? You kidding me?
No.
You kidding me? The same guy who's running around with the dude who said I get the computers putin. Stop it. Stop
Nah. Nah, dog. That's why I'm like his biggest record. Yeah, that's his big joker he can throw on the table.
Like Ballin' was crazy. In 2007, I was going ham.
About that.
I was going ham to Ballin'. No doubt about
No,
it.
we fly high is his big record. It's a big record, but Nas has too many cultural records.
Someone
like
said in the chat, Nas made Ether. People still use that beat to disrespect people to this day.
No,
they put Ether over everything. Jim Jones, you don't have that.
Besides Ballin', I couldn't tell you another song Jim Jones did besides being on Love and Hip Hop and running down on that dude.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Sorry,
please stop.
I don't want to get choked out.
And you can't. How you gonna say pull up the numbers and you don't have the numbers?
Yeah. And one of the craziest parts is he was saying, well, my son is kind of the same age and he don't know Nas records like that. And Jadakiss was like, well, my son knows. He was like, yeah, because he's your son. I was like, bro, that's the whole point. Jadakiss is a New York rapper, bro. Like, that's sacrilege to be a New York rapper. And your son also raps and he doesn't know Nas. Yeah, he should know Nas. Why doesn't your son know who Nas is? How have you not introduced him to Nas's music? What are you talking about?
If your son don't know Nas, you're being a hater. Cause like what?
No, honestly, truly, that's like a New York state. Whether you like him or you don't, Nas has so many songs. Even the inspirational one where it's like "Free the Children" or whatever that one was.
I know I can't be what I want to be.
Yeah, like come on, knock it off. Free the children.
Yeah, no, he was dropping a lot of cap, and then we of course had the argument every time with an artist like Nas, where people were doing we don't have no club records, which is not true for Nas. This is Nas like we don't have no club records. Jimmy has more club records. I missed this whole era of Jimmy club records, by the way, because he has.
All I know is Ballin'.
Yeah.
Like, what are y'all talking about, bro? Like, Nas has club records, and somebody was like, "Well, name them." I was like, "Dude, we're not gonna act like Major Look didn't go crazy in clubs, bro. We're not gonna act like." As much as I went
crazy in the clubs too. I hate that it did.
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't. As much as I hated Omi, bro, Omi was in clubs, bro. That record played in clubs. We're not gonna rewrite history, bro.
The aunties go crazy when Omi come on.
You can hate me now.
But yeah, they were playing that. They still play that shit in the club.
Yeah, and I just don't like the club record argument either, because a lot of people's club records are not their best records. They're just popular.
True. And it doesn't mean anything. Look at old boy who did one. Here comes the two.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a couple of years later, there's a country version of it. The same thing by Shabuzi. Here comes the 1, 2. It doesn't matter, because where's old boy from there who did that song that was everywhere? People still sample it to this day. Where he at now? Respectfully.
And they were playing that song all in the club.
I did not think we were going to get a tipsy reference here. Everybody in the club get tipsy.
And it was so popular. Like I said, years later, you got a whole country. Well, now here come the 1 to the 2 to the 3. Come on, knock it off. Come out with
my homie Jaquan.
Yeah, Jaquan had one with that, bro.
He was drunk in the club. He never left.
Nah, man. Man, look, one-hit wonders have their time. It's just like my man from Rich Boy. Throw some D's on it.
Throw some D's on it. Damn, what happened to Rich Boy?
Yes. That's how I feel low-key about I got these hoes in
what happened to that person? What was that?
Mo Bamba?
Mo Bamba.
I know OG
the basketball player? Mo Bamba?
Is that's his name, ain't it? Mo Bamba?
No, wait, that was the name of the song. Hold
that's the name of the song, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Remember he could not get away from that song, and like I haven't heard that guy's name in like 6 years.
OG Mako.
Like I can't even remember what his name is.
That's what he did. Bitch, you guessed it.
Oh, that guy died.
Yeah, he died like recently.
Oh wow, rest in peace.
Shaq West. Someone said Shaq West.
Oh yeah.
We're getting all the one-hit wonders. Trinidad James is in there.
Trinidad James. I was
Hurricane Chris.
There was the anniversary, I think, of All Go Everything. When that shit came out, life was different. Like I was drinking a lot.
Don't believe me, just watch.
Yeah. We was all don't believe me, just watch. I'm telling you.
Yeah, no, that year. Yeah, no, that year when what do you call it? Trap Queen came out and how that was everywhere as
my
well.
God. You could not turn on the radio without hearing fucking Fetty Wap.
Yeah, Fetty Wap is everywhere that year, bro.
Oh my God. He has one eye. He has one eye. Do you know he has one eye? Yes, we know he has one eye, dude.
He's a man with one eye.
Nah, yeah. And also, God, could stop asking stupid questions. When people do these things and are like, oh, this guy is better than this person. Y'all really believe that? Yes, I do. Yes, like somebody was like, y'all really believe Stevie Wonder is better than R. Kelly? Yes.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Absolutely, yes, I do.
Yes.
I think the rap beef thing is silly because last year or the last 3 years with Kendrick Lamar versus Drake proved that Drake got a bunch of club albums, but that didn't stop Kendrick from mollywopping him, dog walking him all 2 years.
And Drake has like 50 club records. Nobody care about them club records.
His whole career.
Yeah, that's all he got is club records.
That man came out with 3 songs and Not Like Us was playing in the club, dissing you so much so that Toronto, your own hometown, talk about it's probably A minor. You can't go home.
Not Like Us is not a club record. So, but I've heard it.
I've heard it in the clubs.
I mean,
what do you want from it?
It basically is. It's the biggest
song in the world now.
Right
now. Them love it. They love it. You love it.
Well, I guess our one-hit wonder throwbacks is over.
Yeah. Yeah. Tyler, like the Stevie Wonder comparison came because of that list of best R&B singers, and Stevie Wonder was number 1. And some people's response to us, y'all really think Stevie Wonder is better than R. Kelly? And I was just like,
absolutely.
What are we talking about? What are these questions, man?
What are these questions? Like, well, yes, I'm pretty sure R. Kelly's illiterate ass would say the same thing, you know?
R. Kelly can't even write music, let alone play a piano like that. This man was blind. What are we talking about? Yo, some people think because they think they know, therefore they know, and how dare you disagree with me? Bro, what?
Yeah. Think they know, so they know. That was a bar right there, Chris. I don't even know what you were saying.
Bro, that's literally how I feel arguing with people online. Because you think you know, therefore you know, so you're right. Bro, no, you don't. What? R. Kelly being above Stevie Wonder, is it crack?
Who was after R. Kelly? Prince?
I don't know.
Well, not
Prince or Mike, one of those, I think.
Yeah, he was on the list, which was a very controversial choice.
Mm-hmm.
I put the Isley brothers above R. Kelly. What are we doing? What are we doing?
The homie Bianca Lea says, happy Saturday. AEW has an 8-woman tag tonight with Athena and Thekla. Grand Slam Mexico was lit. Brody King making haters cry. Cresta's on my TV. It's a good day today.
And I'm covering Collision tonight with SP3.
You on Collision? What the homie SP3?
Collision.
They colliding. Colliders are colliding. You're still on that on a weekly basis, Crest?
Yeah, because I just be out here. I be doing stuff. So
you do just be doing stuff.
Collision.
How's TNA? Do you want to give us a TNA report?
Honestly, I love TNA. Watch your mouth. CM Punk, mind your business. I'm sorry, not CM Punk. John Cena, there was no reason for you to bring up Matt Cardona and none of them. Mind your business, okay? Why don't you go, Ernest, go do Hollywood? Why don't you go do Hollywood? Ernest. Mind your business, okay? Second of all, Ali putting up numbers. Mike Santana about to get drafted to the Fed. Damn.
Cedric, what's up, Cedric? Shout out to Cedric.
Bro, I saw the sneak peek. Sorry if this is a spoilerino. Joel Pearl's been saying it for weeks. That it's going to be Cedric to tell Ali, stop it, knock it off. You're doing a lot. In my mind, in my sports fantasy, I was like, bro, this is going to be Cedric and the Hurt Syndicate. But I'm okay with this. Like you said, that 205 live between Ali and Cedric Alexander lives rent-free in my mind. Also, one with Cedric Alexander and Buddy Matthews when they was in Australia lives rent-free in my mind.
Yes.
So anytime I can see those 3 men mix it up in any combination, I'm with it.
How did you feel about them going back to Joe Hendry?
Say his name and he appears.
Here's my thing with Joe Hendry. When you should have struck when the iron was hot, you didn't. Right. You put Nick Nemeth, you put Moose, and I get Nick Nemeth more so than I do Moose. Nick Nemeth, you had listen, they already promised it to him and da. To me, you should have pivoted, but much like with Naomi, you thought Nemeth was going to do the same thing, but you had a Joe Hendry right there. You should have put it on Joe Hendry. You should have pivoted. So when you did do it, Joe Hendry was still hot, but let's talk about TNA self-respect.
Now they just did it to Mike Santana, though, right? Wasn't it Mike Santana's time?
Yeah.
Mike Santana's coming up now, but it's like, bro, it should have been Joe Hendry versus Santana. Joe Hendry loses to Santana. Have that aura change within TNA. Come on now. And now it's a little bit too late again because Santana's doing the damn thing. He should have had the title. That's just me. And now when Santana's done, if you go to the Fed, that's on you. You lost Jordan Grace. You lost Joe Hendry. People are like, well, Joe Hendry said he was going to leave. I would leave too. You mean to tell me when
y'all are playing? Yeah.
Like I've been got over. And then you put the title on Moose. I still was over. Then you put the title on Nick Nemeth. I'm going to the Fed. The Fed. I'll do the job for the Fed because now I got a built-in storyline with Randy Orton. I'm going to the Fed. I get to beef with Trick Williams. I'm going to the Fed.
So do you like Trick Williams as champ? Does it hit? I don't know what it.
It's one of those things where it's like y'all in kayfabe, y'all complaining about Trick, but could none of y'all beat him?
Can't nobody beat him. Yeah.
Can't none of y'all beat him? And the best guy to beat him, Santana or Joe Hendry, if you want to get his lick back. Santana will get screwed over by Ali, who's mad. And that's a good storyline. That makes sense. I get it. Santana's going to win that Slammiversary. And if he doesn't, TNA, please. Like, I can't keep defending you when you act like this. Please. I don't know.
They are lining up the match that I think could be actually fire, Leon Slater versus Moose. And if we're not putting that belt on Leon Slater, buddy, I don't know what we're doing.
That's another thing. Like at this point, Leon Slater, he literally is the lost Hardy Boy. Just give him that boot. Just give him that belt.
If he don't get that belt, that's another riot. Because like, what's going on here? He almost died coming off of that damn Ultimate X. Like he needs a reward for this.
Bro, I won't forget AJ Francis doing an interview, and he looked at Leon Slater and said, "Yo, you good?" He looked at him and said, "I'm a Hardy Boy, bro." I was like, "Yo."
No, those young guys crazy.
Yeah. Thank you for putting the list in our chat. He's saying the list for the top R&B artists were Stevie Wonder, Aretha Franklin, Michael Jackson, Beyonce, Whitney Houston, James Brown, Prince, Mariah, R. Kelly, and I believe 10 was Marvin Gaye, which is egregious in my opinion. Putting Kells over Marvin Gaye is kind of crazy.
I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. Yo, your girl went to school for music. There's no way R. Kelly's on that list. The same list as Mariah Carey. Stop it, please. Respectfully.
Whitney's on the list. Whitney's right. R. Kelly's name cannot be next to Whitney's.
Well, I mean, that's why I'm like, what are we basing this on? I mean, like, as a songwriter and a lot of things, but I mean, if we're talking about like performance and other things, like, a lot of those people.
Vocalists? Are you talking about singing ability? What are we judging this on?
But it's not a vocalist list because if it was a vocalist list, you can't put some of those artists in the same category. And if it was a vocalist list,
list up again. Bring that list of 9.
Bring that back. If it was a vocalist list, Stevie Wonder shouldn't have been number 1.
Right.
But it's I think it's best R&B artist.
It's like as a whole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at this and bro, R. Kelly should be up there.
Aretha's number 2 over MJ and Beyonce.
But
Michael Jackson was R&B. A performer. He could sing. I would put Aretha vocally over Michael Jackson. I would.
It's R&B. I think if we're talking about pop, some of what we classify like Mike's big records are pop records.
But it's kind of mixed up because then they have like James Brown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't know what the criteria for this is.
I like James Brown, but he's not a vocalist. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. That's not what he does.
But it's not a vocalist list. That's why I'm like, I don't know what the criteria for this is.
Lists are so fun, aren't they?
I love
lists
are there
to make these arguments.
Let's make a Grapsody list. Who's the most onery? Let's do that.
I don't know if we want to as a podcast make a list, man. People might not. People already feel the way.
Don't you guys make lists and people hate you for it?
Don't say you guys. Well, I guess technically I did put out a list this week, but
you did put out a list this week.
Yeah, but still, I don't know, man.
I'm gonna make my own list. Which wrestlers I would trust to do my baby hairs? Oh, somebody did that already. Never mind.
Somebody did this. See, man,
Mhm.
That was Danny Don't Miss. Shout out to Danny Don't Miss.
Yeah, shout out to Danny.
The homie Leonard Ernst III says Jim Jones being more relevant than Nas is a sign that parents are out here failing these kids early. Teach your youngins quality early, folks. Yeah, for Jim Jones to be like, my son doesn't know, and he's the one that's supposed to play it. It's like, this is on you, dog.
Like it's somebody else's fault that he don't know
Right.
Nas. No, this is your household he grew up in, though.
You're literally from New York. I hate to say it like this.
fault.
Nas and Jay-Z should be something that's played right after your
You just have
record,
to.
sir.
Yeah,
Like
right.
it is what it's the culture. I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry.
But it's all ego, because Jada was saying it even on the podcast. He was like, can we not as artists like pay homage to like people before us? Like he's like, even I do that. And it's like you can hear some of that in like Jim Jones don't want to be like, this guy's a great rapper because he can't say he's better than him, you know?
Yeah, that part where he was trying to interject and say, well, you know, in no other genre do we disrespect our legends like that. And then Jim Jones started to get back into it, and Fat Joe was trying to interject and calm things down. And
Fat
Jada's
Joe
like,
can't
you
take
started
it."
this.
I love when
Joe
Jada
literally-
calls out Joe. Fat Joe, he got some allegations on his head out there.
Yo, Fat Joe, beyond those allegations, still in the hood, you stole Pun's rhyme book. All right. So knock it off. Knock it off.
Can everybody stop being nasty, Tyler Perry and all y'all? Like, just chill. Just chill, I think.
Nah, we from New York. We're bang, bang, bang.
Bronx, BX.
Bong bong. Bong bong. Oh.
I didn't think y'all were gonna recover after the Knicks stuff, but you know, it seems like that
As
might
a
be
New
back up. I don't
Yorker-
know.
As a New Yorker, bro, they can burn our city down. You know what we still be do? New York. Chicago second city, New York second city.
Yeah, you guys are down for like an hour. I think Knicks fans
they
are
were back
upset.
outside with them Timbs and shorts on like nothing.
Right back out as Spider-Man
But
with the
you-
Timbs
'cause
is
the
right out
Knicks
there.
Losing. The Knicks are losing. I used to be a Knicks fan back when Jeff Van Gundy was the coach, and they were losers then.
Big Jeff.
That shit ain't changed. That's why I'm not a Knicks fan now. I got my hopes up for 2 seconds. For 2 seconds, I was like, never again.
Yeah, big Jeff. Shout out to Jeff Johnson, also famous Jeff from New York.
Jeff. And then Grapple Geekery says, let me rep the white Southern boys for Alicia Keys too. Yeah.
I keep on falling.
Dax, another one. Alicia Keys, AK. Big fan.
Big fan of Alicia Keys over here.
Appreciate you, Grapple Geekery.
I don't care. People be trying to talk about like, I don't know, some of them notes. I was like, I didn't hear none of that.
I don't care about none of them notes. They try to bring up that one clip. Nobody care about that.
No. It sounds fine to me. I don't know what y'all talking about.
I see how
Just play
Swizz be
piano.
talking. Swizz be like, he's a different man after that. The way he be talking about Alicia Keys. I'm like, he didn't cheated on his wife to get like,
You left the home unit for Alicia.
like,
Something going on down there.
you left your whole family for Alicia Keys. They're like, she gotta have something else going on if that's the case.
Sometimes you gotta face your poison in order to poison.
Poison.
There's two people
That's
in that
hard.
R&B group that I don't mess with: Alicia Keys and Erykah Badu. Because once they got your man, they got your man. They got your man. They got.
Yeah, there's some controversy around Erykah. Erykah put out her
man, Alchemist.
Yeah, Erykah and Alchemist put out their first record for this album that's supposed to be dropping. People were very excited, and then a part of the release for the song, they put out a video that was made with AI. And for a minute, Uncle Al was out in these Twitter streets trying to defend it, and it did not look good, man.
His responses were god awful. He said, "A cell phone's AI. Why are you guys mad at me?" And it's like that is not what we're doing with this Alchemist. What do you mean a cell phone is AI? Yeah, he had a bunch of essentially like, you guys are being boomers, and I'm like, that's not what
We're on Timberland's neck for farming people's content for years and then making an AI artist talk about I signed them. That sounds eerily familiar to a bunch of artists' music. We want AI to do our work, not the creative stuff. What's not clicking, Steven?
I'm like, did he just ignore us being mad at Timberland 3 days ago? This was 3 days ago.
This is not a good sign though. That he's the third or fourth out of big hip hop producers that has endorsed AI. Because I believe Kanye did. He was one of the first to do it, and then Timbaland, and now this is like,
we're dead.
So we can complain about Iggy Azalea, but then you will condone AI rap,
right?
No.
So I could be a rapper too. A, B, C, D, blue, green. Bless me.
Bless me.
Hold on. Why you start with the alphabet?
I'm sorry. I wanted to keep it real simple, real rudimentary. I could do something else.
Oh, you wanted to relate, Crest. I hear you. You wanted to like the kids can hear you on a level too.
I want it to be for everybody. Hip hop is for everybody.
To get with the B-boy afterwards, that's hilarious.
It's for everybody.
Hilarious.
Yo, if y'all see me drop an album, don't say nothing, okay? Just support my shit.
I'm just gonna support.
Man. Blindly supporting, bro.
Blind retweets. Here you go. Take it.
Blindly supporting, man. Sometimes you gotta face your poison, man.
Poison. To poison.
I fuck with Grapsody. Solidarity. Solidarity.
Oh man.
Oh, that's hard.
That all of our super chats?
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna hit you with some humper chats and get into the rest of our topics. But before that, here's a word from our sponsors.
Yes.
Hey guys, Sean here to tell you about my bookie. Next Saturday, WWE Night of Champions during the afternoon, and you're betting on it at my bookie. You know our friend Reg is gonna be there. He's gonna make the flight. He's gonna be wearing a WWE logo hat. He's very excited for John Cena and CM Punk. One more time. Ruthless Aggression era showdown built for the fans with the title on the line. Cena is the favorite right now, but based on history, CM Punk is won in the past. But with my bookie, you don't just pick the winners. You bet on entrances, finishers, betrayals, shock returns. If you know WWE, you already know how to beat the lines. If you think you know more than their odds setters, go over there and check it out. Sign up with the promo code Fightful, and they are going to back you on your first deposit. $100 gets you $50 extra as a bonus, and $200 gets you a Benjamin. What you do with it is up to you. WWE, UFC, with my bookie, you call the shots and you cash in when it counts.
Damn, Reg, I didn't know you was like that.
What happened here?
Sean sent me a message like right before we started this podcast. I was like, "Oh, you got a new ad read for us, right?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got you." And I was like, "Is it uploaded yet?" He was like, "I got you in a minute." So I should have known it was something up because the way he responded and hit with the LOL, I was like, "This guy, man, I knew it was something."
SRS, you a damn fool.
Best boss in the world, Sean Rossap, ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage.
But yeah, for all your sports betting needs, my bookie is the place to go. Please bet responsibly, everyone.
Please. Pretty please. And we're being kind of programmed next week, those sons of bitches.
Yeah, it is. They will be back in Riyadh for Night of Champions. Few matches have been announced. Yeah. The matches so far. Yeah, the matches are now so far so funny because it's like, oh yeah, these are matches people want to see, like big pivotal storyline matches. They're trying to get away from this idea that they're just Saudi house shows. No, these are matches to progress stories because you've been waiting to get Jacob versus Solo because they've been teeing this up all year. It's gonna happen in Saudi Arabia. Also, hey, first CM Punk John Cena one-on-one match in 14 years.
Saudi.
That was diabolical. That was diabolical to put it there. That whole situation is diabolical.
It's all of our faults, Cresta, because everybody's like, I'm not watching that show. I'm not blah blah. I bet you.
We're gonna give you a reason to watch the show.
Watch the show.
To be fair, the first couple of ones didn't matter. Yeah, and then the one that kind of did matter, Undertaker almost killed somebody almost killed the Undertaker. You know what I mean? Like, and then wasn't old boy asking for Yokozuna, who been dead since '95? Yeah. Like, what are we doing?
That meme of Taker looking straight at the camera is still one of all-time great wrestling memes from that match. So funny.
Mm-hmm.
Looking like I'm too old for this shit. Didn't Shawn Michaels didn't Triple H turn black blue?
We don't speak of that match.
Ballhead Triple H. I'm Ballhead HBK.
We don't speak of that tag match.
So, child. Anyway, there's a reason why we don't watch these Saudi Arabia shows. All right, all right.
Yeah, let's get into some of these Humper chats. We've got a lot here. We've got some from Tony P. He says John Cena has some shit to get off his chest last night. He's been holding this in for over 14 years, and the petty just flowed, earned him Petty of the Week. They set the stage for it perfectly with Truth facing him again. What was so great about it was he felt natural. Yeah, I think that's a good segue to get into our biggest topics of the day. Because John Cena did cut a pipe bomb. The irony here is very funny. But I thought he was trying to call it a pipe bomb. I get what they were going for.
In the realm.
Yeah. It was a clogged toilet more than a pipe bomb.
Yeah, I get what they were going for. But yeah, I think that this was very well executed because I think it was Ask Grapsody I was on where I said I had to do this article for Bleacher Report where I ran through the greatest moments of this feud so far. And when I was rewatching a lot of this stuff and doing research for it, I was like, wait a minute. They're doing a R-Truth match on TV in the middle of this. It's just like before when they did the table match. And of course, Punk helped R-Truth win that match. And right afterwards, on June 27th, which is a week from now, on June 27th, 2011, that's when he famously cut the pipe bomb while Cena was laying there, hopefully be as uncomfortable as possible, while Punk was at the top of the ramp. So I thought the execution here was very smart. Using that match again as the way to get here with Cena versus R-Truth and flipping the dynamics this time, having Punk get thrown through the table instead, and then that leading to pipe bomb. Also very smart. This whole Slim Jim table thing is extremely lame, but it also tells you exactly where this company is. Everything has an ad on it. Everything is very corporate, but that also kind of fed into this version of the pipe bomb because times have changed, guys. Times have very much changed. And that was very apparent throughout this pipe bomb. Before I get into all of my thoughts on it, what did you guys think?
It's just funny because we had, like you said, just talked about them potentially doing exactly the same beat. We're leading to the same beat elements for it to happen. The way that people have been talking about John Cena leading up to this, that's been a lot of hit or miss. His promos, I think back to that Saturday night main event promo with Jey Uso, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know where this is going. So the fact that they switched dynamics and made it Cena, I thought was interesting, but I'm keep going on what you're saying. Times have just changed so much. Like what he was saying, how he was saying it is just like, my brain is still like, what?
No, I low-key agree because like I don't have the Cena or the Punk nostalgia because I wasn't watching when these guys were doing the best that they can be. But from the pipe bomb that I saw the video, like you said, the dynamic is different. Both of you guys are corporate chills, so you can't literally sit up here from a position of power about, yeah, and that's why you did this. Yeah, because he's 50 now. He has to. You screwed him. You all screwed him. So, of course, he had to. It's about, oh, I'm the only guy from a locker room you like. Okay, that was... you got me there. I laughed. But overall, it was kind of like, when Punk did it, he was literally the underdog. You guys were the powers that be. In no way, shape, or form, besides speaking truth, maybe kind of turning face, were you the you're not the underdog, even in this situation. Even when people telling you can't wrestle, you're still not the underdog. If he's a billionaire, so are you, Peacemaker. What are we doing? So it was just weird to me because it was very much like, yeah, look who's a corporate shill now. So are you, baby.
Well, I mean, I think that was kind of his point that like of all these years you thought you had this thing to hold over me. Now look how the tables have turned metaphorically and literally. Look how much things have changed. I think the execution of it was really good because, like I said, I expected it once I saw that they were teeing up the R-Truth match. I was like, oh, they're gonna mimic the pipe bomb. And I think what we got out of it ended up being pretty good. This is probably the most natural Cena heel promo we've gotten so far. He very much needed this. But I did come away thinking what I thought a few weeks ago when we got here, and specifically last week, where Punk comes out and says, yeah, this is it. We had to press the button and send me in to salvage this heel run, make this heel run palatable, and make this interesting. And I was like, hey, he's right, because this is the most I've been interested in this heel turn so far. And yeah, it's nostalgia. Yeah, it's I came back to wrestling like right in the midst of the build to Money in the Bank. And so this is a very, very special time for most people as fans. And so some of it is biased, but at the same time, this heel run ain't been hidden. And so this does feel like a marked change for it, and it was needed. So yeah, of course, people are making the jokes of Punk going through that table and laying there for a whole 7 minutes. He's like laying there like he's in his casket.
Not Nosferatu Punk.
Yeah, that is very funny. But I do think it's something funny symbolically about him having to eat crow here, because everybody has been saying since he came back, like, wait a minute, this isn't supposed to be you. You're supposed to be, the iconoclast guy, the punk rock guy. You going back there, you sold your soul. You going back there, and now you're going to do Saudi shows. You're a hypocrite. So him having to sit there and just take all of those things that Cena was saying to him is basically what he's had to do in real life, with fans saying all these things about it. And he's got to eat that. He's got to take it on his chin, because what can you say? Right. Like, there's not anything you can do about it. So I thought that was a good note. But the pipe bomb itself, I saw people saying that this is his best promo ever, which is cap. This is not his best promo ever. No, this is him attempting to replicate what made the pipe bomb special, and still not understanding why the pipe bomb hit and why it hit so hard against him in particular. Right. You still doing the very corporate thing of putting this guy through a table with a huge Slim Jim ad on it, and then you couldn't even go to the top of the ramp and cut the promo. You had to stand in the ring and sit on the turnbuckle so that we still saw the ad throughout the entire promo. And you're still hawking shirts. You're still trying to sell us things throughout everything you do. So yeah, you still don't get it. So, but I do think there were some great lines in here. I did think some of this was very funny. Him starting it the exact way and saying, I hope you're as uncomfortable as possible. And getting into the, I don't like you. I don't dislike you. I actually like you. I like you a lot more than most people you share the locker room with.
I died when he said that. I literally corpsed in real life. I was like, ah!
Which of course hits. And he goes, he gets into the, I hate the idea that you're the best, because there's a flip on his line to him. And you're not the best. You're just the best bullshitter. And then he looks straight at the camera. Oh, guys, look, I'm cursing on TV, which is, again, you don't get it. The thing that made Punk cool in those moments is Punk very effortlessly broke the fourth wall and said all of these things, and it felt real. This didn't feel real for you because you were still doing the goofy, I'm in character stuff. Like I said, you still don't get it, John. And so him doing all of that, look, I'm cursing, guys. I'm breaking the fourth wall. Stu, get this part. All
You're along for the ride. It's different because when Punk was doing it, we felt like we were along for the ride. Cena telling us we're along for the ride is what changes everything.
It kind of gave I lost the train of thought. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, and as a parody of the pipe bomb, it worked.
Yeah,
but like trying to hit some of the same notes of the pipe bomb, it's not gonna.
It's not very corporate. It was very corporate.
Extremely corporate.
That was the problem. Because like you said, when Punk said, we're going along for the ride, you didn't have to instruct me. You didn't have to tell me. I just knew to buckle up my seat and shut the fuck up. I mean, shut the hell up. In Cena's case, you forced it. You literally, instead of a pipe bomb, it was a clogged toilet. I was inconvenienced and you forced it. You forced it, bro.
Well, I mean, it's supposed to be corporate. This is him speaking as a guy that sold his soul to the company and representing the company. So he, again, like I've been saying since he came back after the pay-per-view, he's been doing very Triple H, the corporation won, guys, promos. And they're working because that's what the character is. And so, yeah, even him saying, you're just a big bullshitter. All the other guys that you stepped on to get here, you act like you care about all these people, but then he looks right at the camera and says, "How you doing, Claudio Castagnoli? Hey, what's up, Matt Cardona, Nick Nemeth?" Now, I've seen some people say that this was intentional because the initials here and the names here are to represent guys that he really did have beef with in the last 3 years, A being Colt Cabana, and of course, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. He, of course, cannot say any of those names on WWE television. They're not going to let him use AEW wrestlers' names on TV. Even the names he used, those are all wrestlers that worked with WWE. Those are all the ex-WWE guys. Claudio, ex-WWE. Nick Nemeth, ex-WWE. It would have hit harder if he said Ryan Nemeth, but of course he couldn't do that.
Can't say that.
And I thought the line to take from the pipeline, the pipe bomb that would have hit was him turning straight to the camera and going, "Hey, how you doing, Colt?" That was the line. But of course he can't do that. So
you're not really that guy. You're a fraud.
They're not going to let you get away with that line. They're not going to let you get away with referencing AEW wrestlers. Because I thought the other line, as champion, you should have referenced Punk saying, "Hey, maybe I'll take the belt to New Japan and defend it there." He should have said, "Hey, maybe I'll take the belt to AEW and defend it there. I'll defend that belt there a lot more times than you did."
Even if he said, "Because y'all have a working relationship with TNA, I'm gonna take it to TNA and go do that."
Yeah, but of course,
you said something really important before I forget. This was a very Triple H ass promo.
Yes,
that Cena just said. you hit that like this is something Triple H would say bar for bar, and Cena just said, "All right, pal, got it. I'm gonna read it."
This is what Triple H has been trying to say about Punk since he cut the pipe bomb.
Triple
as a character on TV,
to the pipe bomb.
Yeah, this is all of that. And so Zena was saying that's the point. Cena was disingenuous. Yes, I get that, but I also understand like the parts that are very safe. I wish they would have took the handcuffs off for just this moment.
Right.
There are things that would have made this an all-timer. Like, bro, if he referenced the Young Bucks, bro, this would be talked about for years.
Definitely.
But of course they can't do
hunting.
that.
Like say deer hunting, say something, bro.
Something.
Yeah. But there are also several pointed things he did say here that I don't know if people caught. I think the initial thing that could have been intentional. It kind of feels like a reach to me. I'm not sure. But the part that I heard and I looked around like, did y'all hear what he just said? I heard that. Because he says, "Hey, don't forget who gave you the stage to cut that promo, pal." Who do we know that says pal like that?
Who?
His daddy.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon. I thought this was a very clear reference to Vince. They can't reference Vince on TV. They even blurped out Vince in the pipe bomb when they replayed that in the video package. But I thought he took a very subtle way to reference Vince here and say, "Hey, man, as much as you hate Vince, the thing that puts you on the map, he allowed you to do that."
I mean, and you came back here. So even no matter what you say, after everything it'd be one thing if you're just like, okay, it's wrestling, people go back. After everything you said, and the cherry on top, the piece de resistance, suck a blood-covered dick in Saudi Arabia.
Well, yeah, he referenced that because he said your tweets are strong, but your actions are weak. They also, which I thought was a great line. They also said, you're not against TKO, you're Mr. TKO. And I was like, I mean, he got some zingers in there. I just think I thought, like I said, it was great. I thought it was a great way to tie back to the most popular part of their feud. And I think the build for this match has been great, despite the fact that it's in Saudi Arabia. I think it would have hit a lot harder if this match was at SummerSlam, but
or Chicago,
or at Money in the Bank. But I think just having the timing of doing this around the same time as the build for Money in the Bank, a week before the pipe bomb was cut in 2011. Also having that line of "You were the best in the world" for 7 minutes 14 years ago. It's kind of a great line. I mean, there's some cap in there because, of course, he was undercut when he came back. We had to do this stupid side quest with Nash and all the other stuff that has nothing to do with him ruining his moment. That's the way he was booked. He don't have no control over that.
Yeah.
But yeah, there were several things here that I thought hit. Cena continuing to be disingenuous, him continuing to not understand why the pipe bomb hit so hard, why fans chose Punk instead of him. Also funny. I thought it was a great character moment in there as well. When he says, "You're not the best in the world. I am. I am the greatest of all time." And the crowd starts chanting Cena. He sits and he looks around and he has this little smirk on his face, like, see, they get it. And it was that acknowledgement of him understanding it doesn't matter if they say you suck during your entrance or boo you. Wrestling fans understand your contributions to this business. Wrestling fans appreciate you. Everything you've been saying since you turned heel is cap. But it's too late. He's in too deep to admit that. He knows it, but he can't say that. But all that stuff was good. I think everything around this worked. It's just the shadow over it all is that the match is happening in Saudi.
I have to ask both of you, Phil and Reg, do you think that there's a swerve where CM Punk says, you know what? I'm going to pull a Justin Bieber. I'm going to clock in. I'm going to stand on business. You're not catching that. You're not clocking that. And I'm not going to go to Saudi Arabia. Do you think there's a...
No.
He's been advertised. He's going.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I definitely think the match is happening at this point. I think if they were going to, because it's next week, if they were going to do the whole injury angle and he's not there thing,
they would have did it already.
They would have done it by now. They're promoting a match next week. It's happening.
At this point, right before his match, the Miz needs to come out and go.
Yeah, I mean,
I would pop.
We ain't seen the Miz in a minute.
Yeah, he can't do that from his home, I guess.
Yeah.
I would send the video.
Well, they made up. I don't know if they can do that no more, which is also kind of part of Cena's point. Like, wait a minute, you've been neutered. You're safe now.
Like, you friends with everybody now.
Didn't CM Punk say this? If I got 5 moves to do, you say the same 5 things in your promo, pal? Like, what are we doing? Like,
oh yeah, he said you've been doing the same thing for years. You've been doing the same mic moves of doom for years. Which again, I thought that was kind of a good line as well. He had some good lines here. Again, I think this is his best promo. This is the best thing he's done since he's turned heel. There's just still parts of it that don't quite hit the same. When I was saying that everything has changed. It's hard to not watch this promo and see where Punk is and how Cena's talking and getting cheered for it. The corporation won, guys.
They did.
Everything about this and Punk being in a situation as a babyface where the company can come back and go, you're a hypocrite. All of those things you said to get on, and they love you. You're not the voice of the voiceless. You don't care about these people. You're a capitalist just like the rest of us. And the crowd cheered when they were saying that. I was like, yeah, this is.
They're like, yeah.
The corporation won, and it's such a weird place to be in because I was saying before how someone was saying if Punk had said I'm going to Saudi Arabia, he would have got booed by that crowd. No, they wouldn't have because they're in now. They don't care about any of that. They like the WWE.
Saudi's the next big wrestling, next big WWE show. That's all they care about.
The sports washing is working. Then nobody cares about whatever.
They don't care about that. The WWE fan base is not rebellious like it used to be. They're not gonna boo certain things. No, they're in. They're in for whatever this company is selling them at this point. And like I said, him sitting up there and cutting that pipe bomb, if he had done that 14 years ago, he would have got booed out of the building.
Out of there. He would have got booed so bad. He wouldn't even been able to talk. They would have booed him.
They've been like Elias with the Seahawks situation.
Yeah, and today you have people acting like that was his best promo when it couldn't have come off any more insincere and planned.
It was literally Triple H handed him a note and said, read this.
Read this shit.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, man, everything has changed. It's not just the dynamics being flipped that he's a heel this term and Punk is the big baby face, but the fact that Punk has to like go back over there with his tailwind between his legs and accept all of this, because what is he going to do? Say no to it? And that's why I'm like, when people are like, oh, we could mention Colt because that would upset Punk. I don't think it would have. I think that Punk is on board for what they want to do. I mean, look at all of the stuff that Drew McIntyre referenced during their feud. You think that they didn't work together on that? You think he didn't agree with that stuff? You think they didn't talk beforehand? Like, hey, yeah, go to Mindy's and do all this other stuff, bro.
No, at this point, fans think all this shit is a shoot. They're like, no, they did that. He did that because they're beefing.
They hate each other in real life. You don't know?
Yeah. Cena of all people fake shooting and then still using words like mother fudging and all these other things. I said,
bro. That's how you gonna curse at the beginning and at the end go straight up Disney. And didn't we cook The Rock for this? Didn't we cook Roman Reigns for suffering succotash? What are we doing? What are we doing? I'm not that mad at it, all things considered, because CM Punk already told you who he was when he said, I'd go back to the Fed for a big bag of money. And you came back to the Fed twice.
Yeah. I also, for a while, I thought, yeah, this guy is very popular. He's getting big cheers. Because I thought at one point, you're going to bring this guy back and he's eventually going to turn heel, right? But seeing the reactions he's been getting since WrestleMania, I was like, I don't know. I've changed. I think that they are definitely teeing up an eventual Punk heel turn. It's right there.
You can't have Punk and him not be heel. Like, he's a massive.
Have them work together. You would make the fans so mad. You'd make the fans so mad. Pissed.
Yeah, big money Punk feels like it's going to be an angle eventually. I don't know when, but I do think it's going to happen.
When Punk goes corporate, I'm going to go corporate Cresta. We'll do it together. We'll heel turn together.
He already pulled up in the G-Wagon. It's fine. Like corporate Punk is already corporate.
Exactly. But yeah, I enjoyed this. I'm sure there are people online that are going to be like, I hated it. I hate everything about it. But no, as somebody that, like I said, got back into wrestling because of this feud and what this feud represented at that era, I've enjoyed all of the TV stuff so far. It's just sorry,
black shadow and a black cloud over it.
Like, there's already enough black clouds over wrestling. We don't need you to literally bring in Darth Sidious, bro. Like, chill out.
So is there a chance that CM Punk beats John Cena for the belt?
I don't, because the other thing we got last night is my pick to win the King of the Ring tournament is officially out. I was picking Sammy to win. Randy just won.
Randy just hit him with an RKO, and that was it.
Yeah.
Sometimes wrestling, WWE specifically, be doing stuff. I would just be looking at the TV like, pourquoi?
Like, if anybody needed a win in this King of the Ring tournament, the last person is fucking Randy Orton.
Agreed.
Yeah, but that does kind of confirm two things for me. I do think now Cody's going to win, and I do think the SummerSlam match is probably going to be Cody Cena. And this cements my thought that Sami Zayn is going to win the Royal Rumble.
How many times are we going to... This is my thing. I love Sami Zayn, and I think Sammy, you're right there. You're right there.
This is the year, though. I feel like this is the year with the stuff they're doing with Rollins. They've been saying more and more he has never won world championship on TV. They don't do that without plans to move forward. Like, they've drawn attention to it too many times.
They better give my guy his fucking belt. Quit playing.
For Randy to come out and say, I do think you're going to be world champion, just not now. I do think we're heading to him challenging for the belt at WrestleMania.
Adversity.
I mean, I don't know, man. But who does he beat then? You think Cena? Well, Cena will be done by the time next year.
I think it's Seth. Because Seth is the big adversary for him. It's Seth. Seth will be champion by WrestleMania.
So Seth takes it off what's his name?
Big Gontz.
Mr. Jonathan Cena?
No, Seth is going to be Gunther.
I don't want to see that. I gotta be real. I don't want to see that.
He's definitely.
I only want to see Gunther slap Seth's chest like, get it out of here. I don't want to. I want to see Walter versus Keith Lee. I don't want to see Gunther versus Seth.
I've been saying people think think Goldberg's gonna beat Gunther. So.
No,
I'm like, what's wrong with you guys?
We did that already with the Fiend. I don't want to do that again. Please, mercy. I don't want to do that again.
The reason I don't think that works is because if Goldberg does win and we get a cash in, people are going to cheer Rollins if he cashes in on Goldberg. If he cashes in on Gunther after beating Goldberg, that's different.
Right.
Damn it, Bill.
Him cashing in on Goldberg would just be nasty anyway.
That'd be funny though. But also at the expense of Walter, at the expense of Jay.
Spent the Rikishi definitely gonna think it's at the expense of Jay.
Rikishi gonna be up in the booth. You thought I was rapping earlier.
Yeah. Oh man, Deontay, this is something I thought multiple times throughout. The guy that came out of retirement to beat Punk was Triple H. So when you're sitting on that turnbuckle and saying, "Oh, you squandered your moment," and what happened after you beat me? This guy came out of retirement to stifle his run. He tried his best to stifle his run, and when he was having the biggest run of his career, you took the belt off of him right before WrestleMania and put it on the Rock. That ain't got nothing to do with something he's doing wrong. That was the company.
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about?
I go back to Triple H really did this. Here you go, Cena. Just
straight up. He sent his best friend. He sent his best friend to talk shit about him in promos, have terrible matches.
Nash came back. Come on, bro. Like we're acting like, oh well, you came back with the belt, and what happened? Yeah, we remember what happened. I was there. They sent him on the side.
Nash was calling him skinny fat. I was like, what's happened? I don't know what
bro. You sent him on his side quest to have the matches with him, and for some reason Del Rio was involved. No, this wasn't like he squandered this. This guy was one of the hottest guys in wrestling, and they were booking him like, what are we doing?
Yeah, Triple H didn't like it. He didn't like it when it happened to him, but at least Shawn Michaels was his friend. So F you, Danielson. F you, CM Punk. Yeah. I'm supposed to be the guy. They're supposed to love
everybody. What a terrible.
But he's the greatest booker of all time. Don't look at Damage Control, but he's the greatest booker of all time.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, next week we're being counter-programmed to watch John Cena and CM Punk do it again. They might get some of that same buzz that they had the first time. Well, this is a different buzz because these are different fans and this is different people, but
it's different times. Everything about it is different. Yeah.
I love wrestling.
I wish this was the build for SummerSlam, but you can't do.
I was just thinking that they were going to push the Cody thing a little bit longer is what I thought.
But... Yeah, I mean, there are other things here. Like, of course, one of their most famous matches is the Night of Champions match. So them having, I believe, if I remember correctly, their last one-on-one match at pay-per-view was at Night of Champions.
Their best match was on a Monday Night Raw, so...
Yeah, that's, of course, their last match. That was their last match before everything. That was the February... Raw match before WrestleMania,
where they hit the pile driver.
That was a great match. Cena did the Hurricane Rana. Yeah, great match.
I didn't even know Cena could do one of those.
Yeah, great. One of the greatest television matches of all time.
You think they'll be able to do anything close to that next week? What is this match going to look like?
I don't think it's going to be anywhere close to that.
What's next weekend? Isn't there an AEW show too?
No,
or something? No. Or it's just that.
They're not counter-programming until All In.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not watching that. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm gonna look at the Fightful recap. I'm gonna look at the Wrestle Talk recap. I can't bring myself to watch. The one time I watched the Saudi show, Undertaker almost died. I'm sorry.
Big takes.
Yeah. Big take.
The original.
Looking at the camera like.
Yeah, no. Whoever made that meme of Siakam with eyes rolling back in the head, called him Undertaker, hilarious.
Undertaker.
Well done, whoever made that.
People are just so fucking funny and smart. I love it.
We got more super chats or.
Yeah, we got some more super chats. The homie Leonard Aarons III said that promo last night was WWE reminding y'all 14 years later, we still don't get it. Punk's promo was aimed at us fans who knew he was better than he was getting at the time. Last night wasn't it?
What do you mean? You love John Cena. You love John Cena. You love John Cena.
Yeah, him getting his lick back doesn't really hit the way I think they wanted it to. But I also think that that's part of the point. It's not supposed to get over the way he thinks it is, because of course, like, again, you don't get it, and of course you are the bad guy here. You still don't get that you're the bad guy. You still don't get that Bray Wyatt was right about you. You still don't get it.
You don't get it. He's doing exactly what the things that Bray Wyatt was saying he does.
You're lame. I'm kidding.
Appreciate that, Leonard Aarons. Tenruza says Hangman wins / Brooks in Saudi. Brooks is a bitch.
All right.
I mean, that's straight to the point.
It is what it is, you know. He also says, Phil, I don't know how you could get into this Fed BS.
I watch wrestling. He watches wrestling.
I watch wrestling. I don't know. There's people that are like, oh, why do you watch that? I'm like, you guys know that, you know, I have a podcast where I have to keep up with wrestling, and I write for an outlet where I have to keep up on things, you know. I don't think
it's kind of his job, you know.
Kind of my job to watch these things. I don't know.
It's paid for.
Maybe you should be unemployed, Phil. Thought about that?
I mean, if you want me to just be like everything I cover, I don't enjoy it. I don't enjoy everything WW does, but when it's good, it's good.
Maybe you should be like a wrestling fan and just hate watch it. You ever thought about that? Just hate watch all these shows. Hate watch it.
There was a period where I was hate watching and it was miserable. I mean, but there's also a reason why this is basically not a review podcast. If we had to review every episode of Raw and SmackDown, I couldn't do it.
He'd smack us.
I hate it.
I'd smack down. Tenrys also says Brody King is who Phil Brooks wishes he really was.
You know they're friends, right?
I wouldn't say that. I would just say that they're both on the same wavelength. CM Punk is still very much for the people. Just that Brody King is larger. I
was laughing this week because everybody was like, blah, blah, blah. Punk would wear that shirt on TV if the company would let him. They just won't let him.
He was doing that over there. He's doing what Brody King is doing right now when he was in AEW.
In AEW, same thing.
Remember the protect trans kids thing? I remember that.
Yeah, he was wearing women's rights shirts on TV. You guys know what I'm gonna say.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know these people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I commend Brody for doing that. I think it was dope, but it's the moral superior thing and the comparisons. Yeah, we don't.
I don't know what this guy is. I don't know. His name is Brody King. I bet you that's not his real name.
I mean, yeah. I mean, when Lita wore the gear in the Rumble, we know how she got through with that because she didn't tell them she's going to do it. She just showed up with it.
Yep. They would blur it on WWE. If he came out, so appreciate that, Tenrys. Leonard Aronson III also says that Motorhead Merchant stays playing in y'all faces with this creative bag of this work then. Let me run it now. He's a creative fraud who could only outbook Vince while running a super indie.
To be fair, Shawn Michaels is heating up his old nachos in NXT and it's getting over.
Yeah, he stayed doing all his favorite bits on TV.
That's the best part is Shawn Michaels does his specific. He's like, I did this specifically. You should try it.
Do my storylines.
This works for me
for no reason.
Super kick somebody through a door. I did it.
I will say the difference between Shawn Michaels and Triple H is that Shawn Michaels was Mr. WrestleMania. So
it's a big difference.
I think at this point, Shawn has become more likable. When you look at how Shawn answers some of these questions, he's much better at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
I think he comes across more humble
when he has
and likable.
When he's done the phone calls before the pay-per-views, he feels way more humble and way more. Triple H talks to us like we're all dumb still.
It still feels like
very Vince McMahon low key. Like, you're an idiot. You like wrestling, so just watch it. What are you complaining about? I fired R-Truth and Carlito for real. We brought R-Truth back for kayfabe. Why are you not entertained? What about Carlito? Shut the hell up, nerd.
Are you having fun now? I'm like, dog, don't talk down to us, dog. We can read and we can see and we can hear.
We have eyes, pal.
Yeah, just like the hills, brother. Appreciate that, Leonard Aarons. Single blue note. The Panda said, Grapsody is one of the best and few reasons to be up before 12 p.m. on the West Coast.
Hey,
I mean, I got to be up before 12 p.m. on the West Coast. I'm on the show. So
they let me show up when I show up.
Yes, exactly. You know, sometimes you can sleep in, sometimes you show up. It is what it is. But yeah, it is. Appreciate that, Single blue note. And the homie Busby says, I feel Seth is cashing in on the undisputed title. This could be leading to Roman versus Seth, WrestleMania 42. How you feel, Phil?
I don't think it makes sense for him to cash in on Cena because, again, he's a bad guy. People would cheer if he ended his run with the briefcase. The whole thing that Rollins is doing here is reclaiming all of the things that were taken away from him, including the belt he introduced, and he never got his Gunther match. He had been teasing a Gunther match, and we never got it.
I don't want to see Roman versus Seth again. Is that just me?
I I want the one-on-one match, but I don't think we're gonna get it.
Not this year, and not this year, not ever. So I think it's over.
Yeah. I don't think we're gonna get it.
I think this triple threat match we got this year is them giving us that.
It's the closest we're gonna get, because I do think that Sammy's gonna win the Rumble, and I do think if he can do it, they're going to attempt Roman Rock this year.
Roman, oh yeah, because that's been a thing that they've wanted to do before
This
Roman
is
get
it,
out of here. They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it for him.
This is it. If they don't get Dwayne tell them, we're sorry, this phone don't work. Then
no.
I'm like, damn, did we get the right number? Dwayne is not answering my phone call.
The number you called.
One step further with the whole Rock thing. I think anything for Roman, kind of the ship has kind of sailed. I think Roman's getting ready to wind down his career, in my opinion.
Those are the only two matches that I feel that he can do, and if you don't do either one of them, then I don't know if we ever need him at this point.
It's kind of like how they wanted us to believe that we wanted Ronda versus Charlotte. Oh, yeah, that's not what we want. So I don't know.
We're all like, we don't want that. We want to see Ronda and Becky, and they were like, no, you don't. And we're like, yes, we do. And they're like, no, you don't.
You don't want. Why do you want it? Let me ask you something. Why do you not want to see Charlotte versus Ronda? Because we want to see Becky versus Ronda. You wrestling fans are idiots. You ever thought?
Yeah, it's like this is what we be saying about y'all. This is why we don't let y'all talk.
Listen, man, y'all don't like Charlotte? Y'all want Charlotte?
What you mean you don't like Charlotte? What you mean? Charlotte Flair.
We didn't want
Charlotte Flair.
We didn't want Charlotte. Oh, speaking of evolution talk, sending love out to Liv. That's a fucked up.
Yeah,
that was rough. Poor girl.
Damn.
Yeah. On a very routine bump too. Like that's
how fucked up wrestling is. It's like that wasn't. She didn't do a fucking death match. She didn't do a dragging Ron off the top rope. She just was moving to the next spot.
Yeah,
literally fell, and her shoulder said, "Actually."
Yeah, unfortunate. But yeah, well wishes to her. It does seem like they were prepping a big match for her at Evolution with Nikki Bella. If they're not going to do that, though, you've got the easiest lane in the world here. You've got AJ Lee's protege / daughter right there.
Right there.
That's the match.
I don't understand why they haven't brought AJ Lee back sooner, but I digress. Evolution is going to be the best thing because she's another one who is like, y'all could go die in a fire for all I care. I'm not coming back. You have to pay me an even bigger bag of money.
Yeah. I feel like now it's probably going to be Roxanne and Raquel versus the Bella twins at Evolution.
Yeah. AJ Lee would be a good shot.
That's fine.
I would pop for that. I would pop OD for that.
I want Roxanne to be the person that they be saying she be backstage on TV.
I want Roxanne from Ring of Honor, not whatever we got going on here. I want that girl.
You're a bully, Roxanne. I heard about you. Oh, brother. Just talking shit.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a good spot for Roxanne. It's unfortunate that Liv getting injured is how they got there, but I think they're, like I said, this is the easiest lane in the world.
It's right there.
Like,
you know, it's gonna be Charlotte Flair. Though. Knock it off.
I mean, you might as well. You're replicating it. You can have Roxanne replicate AJ Lee's version of Pipe Bomb on Nikki Bella. It's all right there. Yep. You could just do it.
What about Stephanie Vacquet as Nikki Bella called her? Stephanie Vacquet. I'm like, that's not her name, Nikki Bella.
Yeah, she got on her podcast and like explained why she did that because it got in her head, and then she had Stephanie on her podcast via satellite or phone, and she was like, "Yeah, no, I love the Bellas. Bellas were a big influence."
Why were people so mad at her for saying that? I'm like, but that's true though.
Because all of these fans want the women to say that that's not true. They want at least one woman to come out and say that that's not true. Hey, maybe it is, guys, and maybe you guys could just admit that's your blind spot as fans, but You know, they won't.
Because all the women that I've seen commenting were like, "Yep." None of them were like, they're all like, "Yeah, we're all influenced by the Bella Twins too." What do you mean?
I think that for a lot of people, because I wasn't watching wrestling at the time, but the people and the women that I do know who were watching wrestling, the Bella Twins, Total Bellas, Total Divas, really got a lot of these girls into pro wrestling. And unless you were looking for someone like Ivory or Jackie or Jazz or Awesome Kong, you had the Bellas, maybe 3 other people. You had Kelly, you had I want to say Beth Phoenix, but even Beth Phoenix she was wrestling. And a lot of people liked the Bellas. To me, the Bellas are not my cup of tea, but I understand why people say that's my guy. Kind of like the reason why people say Hogan's my guy. That was who was there.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So I get it. I'm not going to hate on them because I think that they were very important, because I remember Give Divas a Chance. And they were the ones who pioneered it. Hate them or love them. Maybe they could have wrestled, but we'll never know.
That's what people don't really. That's what people really don't understand. They're like, well, what did they really do? They didn't blah, blah, blah. I'm like, them even being visible on TV, if they gave WWE management the idea to put them on TV, that was more representation for women, and that led to more things. Like the way that they paved the way for what the generation is now, it can't be denied.
Agreed.
But people
Think
really
about
try
what
to
it
deny
was
it.
before in the Attitude Era. It was like literally Trish, Lita, China, and pick a
and
fourth
they was
girl.
all just showing ass too. They weren't even wrestling.
And the only one who was kind of wrestling was China. So let's be real here. Real here.
But we gave Trish the grace to become better.
Yeah.
And I don't think
she was bad. She just they didn't let her wrestle.
I mean, she didn't start out as a wrestler. She was a fitness model, and she got better. And I mean, she's proven multiple times she can actually work. I don't think people give Nikki the credit she deserves, because Nikki did prove she could work. Like I'm not gonna act like Nikki is one of the greatest workers there is, but she did prove that she could wrestle.
She did. When she was on her run and people were comparing her to Masawa, that shit was always so funny.
Nikki Sawa.
Like, if you're not bleeding, you're not wrestling. Get out of here.
Nikki Sawa is crazy. Nikki Sawa would fuck me up every time. But yeah, let the Bellas do their thing, man. Come on.
Yeah. I think some of the people trying to diminish what they did or diminish their impact are bugging. That doesn't take away from the 4 horsewomen. That doesn't take away from anybody else if you give it up to them. Yeah.
Wrestling fans, you suck.
Fickle.
But you know how men trying to talk about women, some of these men.
Listen, all right, sometimes it's okay to stay out of women's business.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Honestly, it'll be better for you if you just stay out of women's business.
But if I'm not in women's business, how do I know if they like me or not?
That's true.
I gotta tell you, some of you guys, they don't.
That's a fact.
They don't,
and they won't.
Listen to Phil, because let Phil say it. Because if I say, I'm gonna hurt your feelings. Let Phil say it.
No. Let me be the one to tell you. Some of them they don't.
Crazy. That's all of our super chats. Nope, we got another one. The homie Vin Forte checking in says, what do you think of the ratings BS with the finals? Game is happening regardless of who watches. Pacers win. It'll be one of the best runs in 20 years.
I think the ratings talk aged very poorly, because this has been one of the best finals in a long time, and people are clearly watching it. The games have been exciting. Yeah, maybe just put good basketball on TV and people watch it.
Ooh.
The discourse, not in just basketball, but in wrestling too, of like the way that we consume this media. The people that consume media different are the ones commenting on ratings. Like, you're watching this on your fucking phone. What do you care about what the ratings are?
You're literally on the back site of watchnba.live.
Like,
stop it.
Yeah, I hate ratings talk, man. I can't stand it. In wrestling in general, I just don't like ratings talk.
I don't think it matters. If people are watching it and people are having the discourse, I don't think it matters. I only think it matters, quote unquote, with record sales, because then you could say, well, I've sold more than you. And even then,
that's the artist saying that, though. Why do you, as a fan, care?
To each other, they could say it, but fans being like, my favorite blah, it's like, what the fuck?
My favorite artist is better than you because they sold more records.
Even then, that kind of falls apart.
I don't like it.
Like, we compare record sales. Hey, we all stream, motherfucker. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I didn't like it when the Hove and Nas beef was going on, and certain people were doing
Yeah.
that. Like, oh, well, he sells more records than Nas. It don't matter who makes
battle
better
rap
music.
him. Just battle rap him. Prove us wrong. Freestyle. Battle rap
We
him.
ain't selling records right now, dog. We're talking shit.
Right? I don't. You work for the label? I'm confused. Why you doing?
Reg, you right. We ain't talking about. We talking shit right now.
Talking
Shut
shit. They don't play your record. Nobody, anytime we out, they don't never say put that blah blah blah. And I hate when they say that shit.
So stupid. I
I
hate
go to
that
the
argument
DJ
too.
booth and I request Gundam style every time, and they tell me get the fuck up out of here, okay?
Yeah, they like this.
So don't say nobody requested it in the clubs.
Escort her on out of here. The Gangnam Style person.
Get her out of here. Get out of here. PSY. You think we got PSY lined up for you?
No.
Yo, he's actually in the back. Which way? This is the alley. Get the hell up out of here.
Get on up out of here.
Get the hell up out of here with that 2005 shit.
We got more Humper chat from Tony P. He says Cena promo felt forced until this Punk feud. It seems to have helped him find a good balance to heal the crowd and accepting their love. SmackDown overall was okay this week. It didn't feel like it was dragging, maybe since I was doing other things too. LOL. I think the matches helped because we got our, surprisingly good Asuka Alexa match, and I think overall, like even some of the story elements this week were better. Like the segment with Jacob and Solo was good. I just think overall they did more to fill the three hours this week. Hopefully that rumor that we're going back to 2 hours is true.
Yeah.
I do not want the show to stay 3 hours, but I can totally see USA thinking like, nope, we're making a lot of money, so it's going to stay 3 hours.
3 hour wrestling, no one wants that.
Yeah, it's too much.
USA does. That's why we have it.
They got your homegirl Jade a new couple of more black girls to her crew.
Hey, wait, Jade or Jada?
Jade.
Okay.
They put her. I don't know if that's a permanent thing, but it does.
Or
feel
they was
like,
just standing next to each other.
It does feel like they like to do that a lot. Like, hey, put 2 black women next to her. It's like,
but who else? If it's not Naomi and Bianca, who else?
They put. She was in the backstage with Mia Yim and BFAB.
Listen, I like them a lot, but like they're following up Naomi and fucking Bianca.
Yeah, that's
what I mean. That's a sick crew.
Yeah, I did think Jade cut a good promo, and I do get the feeling that Jade is going to win Queen of the Ring.
Jade's a pretty good promo when it's poignant, when it's ready, when she wants to. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's also when they let her talk over there and they give her like good material.
Yeah,
I think Mia Yim would be good with her because Mia Yim, she's a yapper.
I like her. Like Mia. With
she's
her.
a yapper.
Yeah,
she's a yapper. I watch her Twitch and the thing she be saying, like, yo, girl, why don't they let you talk like this on TV? Because you're funny. She's funny.
She is funny.
She is funny. The whole long back attack thing is very funny.
Do you see her social media, bro? Would she be roasting people backstage?
Yeah. All those videos she does. Yeah, those are very funny.
She's good.
See more from Tony P. He says, I was also shocked about Randy winning. However, it was either Jimmy or Sean that said, even though Sammy/Jay or Cody would be the more interesting story, Randy/Cody is the money Saudi match. So don't be shocked if it happens. Also, free/true feud incoming. Yeah, that's what I thought when Randy won. I was like, oh, they're definitely gonna give us Cody Randy in Saudi Arabia.
Match that Saudi would want. Like,
yeah.
Oh, you're getting Cody and Randy? Hell yeah.
Yeah. That was very interesting. That before the Cena match, Truth ran down and attacked Homeboy from Pretty Deadly, and the whole time Alistair is looking around like, what's happening? Why is this happening? And then they have like the priest thing. So it does feel like they're kind of moving R-Truth on to other feuds outside of Punk. I mean, not Punk, but Cena.
Which is kind of silly
Cena.
considering this is Jonathan Cena. I mean, it's just funny considering that R-Truth really has the biggest beef with your childhood hero, Mr. Cena, who did you dirty. Yo, don't be a coward. Let R-Truth pin Cena and let Seth cash it on R-Truth. Don't be a coward. If he's gonna retire anyway, don't be a coward.
They're not gonna do that. They should, and like that feels like a very attitude era thing to give R-Truth like a week-long reign with the belt. I think they could have done that, but I don't think they're going to.
They're not going to.
Imagine making the fans happy.
They don't do that.
No, they told you they didn't bring him back to make you guys happy.
It's part of the show. He was never fired. You're right.
No.
Nick Khan keeps saying that they don't book for y'all. We don't do that for y'all. We do this for us. It's not
my bad, pimpin'. I you know what? I'm gonna go back to what I said. I don't watch wrestling at all. I'm gonna just stick to Love and Hip Hop, Love Island. Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There was a lot of some wild Love Island clips on the timeline.
Yeah, no. What the hell is going on?
Everything I know about Love Island has come from clips, and all I know is that they love this girl Huda. I don't know what you're doing, sis, but you got these people in the chokehold.
I don't know what's going on over there. Nikki was over there in a swimsuit. It was a lot going on.
Megan Thee Stallion was on Love Island, so I was like,
Meg was over there in a swimsuit. It was a lot going on, bro. What's happening?
Notice Meg wasn't on Dax's list. Curious.
I don't know what the fuck that show is. What is it?
I don't know what the show is.
I don't know either. I watch wrestling, pal. I don't know. I watch wrestling and RuPaul's Drag Race. I don't know what that's about. I don't know.
Listen, I watch the challenge. I fuck around, but I don't know what that is.
Meg was having the time of her life out there, man.
Love Island is not like Real World was. I think it's just like, do you want to date? Cool, let's date. America doesn't think we should date. Let's get with other people. I don't know how it works.
There's the shows on that people be fucking and that's it. And then they have a council on like, did you like that? And they're like, yeah, I did like that. Let's fuck some more. That's what they all seem like.
Remember when people were cooking New York for having sex with Flavor Flav on national television at one time, and now it's commonplace to get it busy even where the cameras are? Please.
You know what? I miss those days because everybody's so hot on TV now.
Yes.
And like Flavor Flav was ugly. Like there's nobody ugly on TV. It's kind of unfortunate, you know? Like, because everybody on Love Island is bad. Like they're bad. They're
for no reason. For no reason. Like where did you find these people?
Where are the 3s and 4s at? Give them a chance too.
Something. They're all casted from modeling agencies. Something.
Of course.
Of course. TV sucks. I kind of think that about wrestling sometimes. Like everybody's too cute. Like where's the ugly wrestlers at? There are ugly wrestlers out there.
There's no chance for me and you, Reg. There's no
but
chance.
They don't get signed on TV. They don't sign the ugly people on TV.
I have a joke about some of the ugly people doing really dumb things. You know, Titus NWA, but hey,
points are being made.
There's a few other people I could say, but I don't want to be sports in trouble.
Like when somebody does something, an ugly person, it's usually like, oh, you did that because you're ugly, you know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
But it feel like maybe getting some of them out of here immediately. Like I was waiting. I've been waiting for you. I've been waiting for you to fuck up.
I'm gonna make a very specific example, and you will get what I'm saying. And I won't say this person's name, but it's worse when you're ugly and you can really wrestle. But when you've got a bad behavior, and then you're fired, and they bring you back, and then you're still ugly.
You're like, man, why is this motherfucker still ugly though? That's crazy.
I know you can wrestle, but you're still ugly.
Yeah, man. That's why I keep saying, man, they have their aesthetic. I'm not gonna outright say ugly, but they have their aesthetic, and if you're very good looking, they are gonna push you. Like that was a funny thing with the Sheamus thing this week, and Stephanie was on there. I was like, yeah, Stephanie is a very attractive woman. She's also very funny, and all these other things that they like over there. I'm not shocked at all that she's got over with their audience. She fits the vibes over there.
I knew as soon as.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say as soon as they started talking about. When she had the match with Mercedes and then they were like, there's talks in WWE. I'm like, yeah, have anybody seen her? Like, of course there's going to be talks in WWE. She looks great. She wrestles great. She feels like she has like charisma. Like, come on.
Yeah, they're letting her.
Crazy we were going over Rhea Ripley. Come on now. Come on now.
They let her show more of her human side and all these other things. Yeah, no.
She out of here.
Yeah, no, for sure. She is out of here, bro. It's happening. She's going to be the face of that division.
And if you're really ugly, you better be a wrestling god.
That's a fact.
I can't think of anyone who's really ugly right now.
I can't. They don't put nobody ugly on TV. No, it don't work like that.
Some people, like, okay, respect. Viscera was, but
you had to go back 20 years.
But I really got to go back. The only person I can maybe think of, and I think Sheamus is attractive, but when it was cooking him burger after burger after burger, I didn't see him on TV as much.
But then he got in the gym, and it was over.
That's not even me, Phil. They were like burger after burger. I'm like, yo, don't cook my thick king like that.
He was doing my guy Sheamus dirty, man. He still was a gigantic asshole
He
too.
wasn't even chubby. He just had a little chicharron on the side.
They body sham my guy.
They was really getting in Sheamus' ass for no reason. For no reason, he put on 10 pounds.
Not even that much.
Phil, we don't.
Oh, you're out, Phil. We just hear the
We hear the basketball
feedback.
you're watching.
Yeah, there's like a soccer game going on or something.
Dusty Rhodes.
It's Dusty Rhodes, baby.
Y'all know nothing about no hard time. My microphone full of hard times.
Silly. Oh, Vin also said Jim Jones is a big goofy Nas forever. Yeah, I don't. I'm not even mad at him from writing that one hit from 2005 forever. I would too. I'd be like, you remember my song from 20 years ago?
What's his name was doing that forever. If it wasn't for the Bronx, this rap probably he was doing that forever too.
Leave my guy Peter Guns alone, okay?
From the Bronx, and I will cook him every time I get a chance to.
When Peter Guns started doing cheaters, I was like, I think we gotta.
But also, he's the best guy for it. You was really on Love and Hip Hop with all 90 of your women exposing the business, pal.
If anybody would be able to get into the mind of a cheater, I think Peter Guns. So it might make sense.
Was it for the Bronx? This rap.
That's a hit though, right there. Uptown, baby. Who's the other guy? Lord Tariq.
What happened to Lord Tariq?
Couldn't tell you.
What happened to that boy?
You're back with us, Phil. What's up?
See, we got some more Humper chats. See, from Tony P, he says, Grand Slam was an event. Arena Mexico truly is a special man. Hangman only needs to cut a promo in Japanese and he'll be loved worldwide. The 14-man tag match was nuts, and props to Brody for speaking truth to power. The Mystical entrance was some next level shit. Yeah.
They love Mystical.
Yeah, Arena Mexico looks like a very special place to go and see wrestling. I definitely have FOMO watching it. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Grand Slam Mexico was fantastic. I thought that I knew based on like the build and just like the way people talk about Arena Mexico and calling it the cathedral for Lucha Libre feels very apt because it definitely feels like that's where people go to pay their tithes and worship Lucha Libre. But yeah, this was excellent from the start of it on, like opening the show with the new entrance with everything, the same music with all of the Lucha Libre stuff over it and the Mexican theme over it. But yeah, the setup for the stage and everything was awesome. That place was full to the brim. The crowd was tremendous throughout.
Rocking from the moment the show started until the end of the main event. These people did not stop screaming. They would go from screams to cheers for a certain wrestler back to scream. Like there wasn't a time where they were like, all right, we're done here. Like the whole time they were rocking. The Mexican fans were ready to go. I mean, they do this every week. It's not anything.
Yeah. Very fun show. Grand Slam has kind of turned into one of these kind of shows for AEW, having it in New York and then having it in Australia earlier this year. And now this one, this was excellent, man. The 14-man tag match was a lot of fun. A lot of men in that ring, a lot of wrestlers out there, but
many men.
There was a lot going on. Like there were so many people in the match, they couldn't even have the guys on the apron during the action. Like they had to be on the floor.
Yes.
And you guys got to cycle in who's tagging who.
Yeah. But yeah, all the reactions to that entrance at the beginning told you what kind of show we were in for, because night and day, like Atlanta came out, you would have thought like this is one of the biggest stars in the world in that crowd. They love this guy. And then Adam Cole, man, this guy will just forever be over, man. I just don't care what he does. He comes out, he comes out and does his entrance. Everybody knows all of his catchphrases. Bro, this guy came out. You would have thought this guy was a megastar. But I also think that that's part of like the packaging of coming from WWE. We were talking about Ask Grapsody, when they put the machine behind somebody and they feel like a big deal, it's kind of hard to erase it. because he was the top guy in NXT when they
For a
moved to
long
TV.
time.
And so he still feels like a big deal wherever he goes. And then with certain indie crowds, he's still Adam Cole, ROH, and like all of this history, PWG, and all these things. And like I said, when you also attach how special his run in NXT felt to it, he just feels like a big deal.
I think with how often we see that clip of him and Karrion Kross, like people, there's something he has a piece of people's heart that they will never forget. Like that time in NXT was so special to so many wrestling fans, and he was the fucking lead of it, that he's gonna be over forever, I think is what it is. Like no matter what, because people are like, oh, what about his AEW blah blah blah? I don't think any of that really matters. Like he got into he's in a different stratosphere. None of that shit matters to him. He's gonna be what he is forever.
He's like a hometown hero almost. He at one point they were like he's the second coming of Shawn Michaels at one point.
They were saying that. They were saying that.
Yes, they were. So but you're talking about the ether, bro. That how Karrion Kross still hasn't in some ways recovered from that promo.
Because every time he gets traction again, people are just like, what about this?
When the bell rings, people always try to throw that out. So
damn, I like Karrion Kross too, but they never let you up off of that.
I want him to get something, but I'm like, I don't know if they see you as other people see you. It's unfortunate. That's neither here nor there.
That's a different conversation for another time.
The other thing that makes me happy with Adam Cole thing is it felt like he was legitimately struggling. He kept getting injured. He was having terrible luck. Every time he would get any kind of traction, he'd have a bad injury. And, some of the stuff happening in his personal life, it just looked like he was struggling. So now when he gets these reactions and gets these big wins, you can see it on his face how much he appreciates this. And like, you could see him coming down like, oh, for me? Sure. Boom.
I mean, if you guys like it, I love it. Boom.
Like, it's up, then I guess it's up. No, but I think also beyond that, when it's the opportunity to still see him work, he can still go. So like if you see him in there with Kyle Fletcher or somebody, Daniel Garcia like that, it's like, oh yeah, it's still the Adam Cole that we saw in 2017 and 2018 that was tearing it up. We just don't get to see him as often as we used to.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. No matter who's in the ring with, we're like, damn, this is gonna be a good match.
Yeah, but this was a very fun match.
He chilled on the tan shit too, so good on him.
Yeah, he was wild.
For a while, I was like, yo,
I was hanging out with MJF too much.
What's up?
He was wilding with that tan. He was going crazy. Echicero was another guy. He came out and that crowd loves this guy on the heel train, but they did not care. They were cheering this guy. He would have thought, oh, yo, he's babyface, right? He's gonna fold some guys up, right? No,
they like some fire. He came out with his fire doing his thing. That's our guy.
Echicero is like, he's the Unk, he's the Tio. He's the Tio down there.
He's Unk.
Yeah, but very fun match. Very great mix of talent. We got a lot of luchadors showcased in this early match. Then we got Kazuchika Okada versus Mark Briscoe. I'm still kind of traumatized by the Kenny and Okada stuff we got last week because they were playing a video package of them rolling the gurney out, and Kenny's like, it's like, guys, right? Hold on, not my goat.
Damn, y'all were just making fun of his diverticulitis. Now he's coughing up blood. It's an unsafe work environment. What's happening?
Damn,
bro, they were slowing it down. You can see like the splashes of the blood coming all out. I was like, hold on.
Is this your favorite? He's dying now. Yeah, roll the tape. He's dying. We'll see him die again.
Where is he? And it was unfortunate because coming into the show, the most requested person I saw was Kenny Omega. For like Mexican fans were like, please, Kenny Omega. So it's kind of unfortunate that he didn't get to come to the show. But I love seeing Okada has a repertoire in Mexico because of the excursions he used to take in New Japan. So they have they know who this guy is. He was walking out there like he's the baddest motherfucker in the world. Mark Briscoe is there's like 5 wrestlers in AEW that are like the best TV wrestlers. Like, just put them in a match, give them 12 minutes, and they're going to destroy it. Mark Briscoe's one of those guys. Like, no matter what the situation is, he's going to have one of the best matches on the show, and that's what this felt like again.
Yeah.
I want Mark Briscoe to win something. I know it won't happen, but I want him to win something. I want to win a world title. In fact, I want to beat John Moxley. I want to beat John Moxley.
Well, he did. He was ROH.
He was ROH champion. Remember that?
No.
Yeah, he did. It was a big moment for him too.
No, it's hella funny.
No. It was a big moment. They brought back his old theme. It was a moment.
That show was tight. I had fun. I liked it.
We were there.
Yeah.
It was Supercard of Honor, right?
That's
now, what
great.
came afterwards, I don't know, but that moment was fun though.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, I want a good reign. How about that?
Yes. That's
keep Jericho away from my guy.
But yeah, who? Don't say that, Philip.
You don't miss him? You miss him, Krista?
You know what I miss? Judas in my mind. Now that I have come. Jericho is hit or miss for me, but if Jericho's putting people over, that's fine. But whenever Jericho does a group, the only person that gets over is Jericho. So like, I like I like singing his songs, but like,
yeah, you're not sitting in your at home watching your TV waiting for no.
I associate that more with Big Bill and Brian Keith than I do right now with Jericho. Judas is it for me. Judas in my now that I have come.
I feel like we're gonna see that fool back at home before it's all said and done. But that's another story for another day.
You trying to say I know you have a secret. It's buried down below.
Yeah. 100%.
Let it go. Let it go.
Now, shout out to my homie CJ. I'm not gonna let y'all do that.
Get your homie. Okay.
I'm sorry. Sorry, CJ.
There was a time when there was 3 people on our pod and 2 of them were blocked by Jericho, and I was not. And I'm still not blocked by Jericho.
Nah. Pink told us there are times. There are feel good times, but I don't think this is one of them.
I want to see if I'm blocked by Chris Jericho.
There are
I'm gonna go to Twitter right now.
Nah, man. People, that was funny as well. We did the reunion podcast. People were like, light skinned Pink. Nah, when Pink got into her rock bag, she has some joints too, man.
Hey, nah. Pink has some hits, man. You don't want to go against Pink in the verses. Pink versus Gwen Stefani. Gwen might be getting up out of here.
Pink might give her a run for her money. Might be a hard day at the office.
Are we talking about Pink from Philly? Pink. Oh, yeah. Girl. Pink would get Gwen Stefani up out of there. Stop.
Pink got hits on hits. She can get to the black girl R&B bag. Could get into the party.
Nah, she about to hit that. Nah. She getting Gwen up out of here, dog.
Yeah.
No Pink slander.
She gone.
Because all Gwen is gonna do is, this my shit.
I mean, they both. I mean, no, Gwen was more trying to be a Latina. She was on her La Giggles. She had like the initial belt. She had the Dickies on.
That was one of Gwen's many. You know, she tried to be Latina. She tried to be a Harajuku girl. She was black for a minute.
Yeah, aesthetic. She was aesthetic, jumping.
Yeah, it was a hoof. But yeah, Okada and Mark Briscoe was fantastic. We opened the show though with Hangman, and I mean, you felt it when he won the Owen that this is his time. And he should be the face of this company. The optic of him ending the show, raising his hand next to the trophy, I was like, yeah, this is his time. He's got to win. And I felt even more so with him cutting this promo, cut the entire promo in Spanish. I thought when he came out and he started speaking Spanish, I was like, oh, that's kind of a cool thing. And then he proceeded to cut the entire promo in Spanish. And man, as a representative for the company and sending him out first to do that, yeah, he felt like the face of this company, man. You got to put the belt on him.
We all knew, we all have been in since the last pay-per-view when it was announced. We all knew this guy's the main character. This guy's this. But after cutting a full promo in Spanish, getting that crowd fucking ready to hop the rails for this guy, there's no way in the world that this guy cannot be the world champion.
He's got to win. He's got to win.
There's a way, but
There's definitely a way.
There is a way, but I would argue he's never felt like this comfortable. He's never felt this undeniable, man.
Yeah.
Like it's just his time, man.
Mm-hmm. Undeniable is the best way to describe it. Like the confidence that he had to do that and feel like that guy, and later in the show coming out to a massive pop, it's like, if not now, who and when? You know what I mean? Like, it just if you're not striking now, when are you striking?
Yeah, I guess the backstory but for this is his family ran a tobacco farm, and so that's how he learned Spanish. And so this wasn't like he just did this just for this promo. He actually knows Spanish, and it came across well because he, like I said, he looked comfortable. This felt natural. It doesn't feel like somebody just told him to go out there and address the crowd. It just felt like he was like, "Yeah, I got this." And
I thought the Duolingo was doing work. I'm about to say, you better with your 1,000-day streak.
Yo.
Come on now. You even cut the Spanish promo like a gringo,
with your
bro.
1,000-day streak. Nah, that was way more than Duolingo, how he was spitting. Them wasn't that was stars. This is something else.
That was special. I feel like I would go as far to say that's one of those like all-time AEW moments. Like Cody coming out in the pandemic and cutting that promo before the show started. It felt very similar to that.
Yeah.
Like, in 5 years, we're gonna look back and be like, damn, remember that time? We're gonna be seeing videos all the time in fucking Spanish, dog, in front of a Spanish crowd. Like, what the hell?
And yeah, that crowd loved it. There's the report that CMLL was very impressed that they would like for him to come back and do some matches. Like, they really want to book him moving forward. So, hey, good for Hangman.
Mm-hmm. Well deserved. I mean, you have to continue to, like, there's that glimmer of he could lose. You have to continue to make himself undeniable where the fans are like, you can't do this, AEW. Yeah. And I think he's at that point. Like, if he gets anything more than this going up, like, it's going to be at a fever pitch. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
People love this guy, man. AEW not listening, that doesn't surprise me, though, because I just think about Athena specifically. So...
We have to have a real conversation, I think, one day, but it's not the time right now. It's not.
I'm sorry. I'm asking too many questions. My apologies.
Mystico versus MJF was great. We didn't get a whole bunch of like talking segments. It was straight to the action for most of the night.
It's like a pay-per-view.
Yeah, and I think that helped this show. I know the show overall was paced very well, but man, this Mystico entrance was incredible.
You would think he was the president or he was Selena. They love this man.
There's people in the crowd crying, people in the crowd screaming, yelling, everybody singing along. Like, a rock star was coming out. Like, he was walking on water as he's coming down for this entrance. The way that people have been seeing this guy for 20 years at this point headline this fucking arena, but there were people in there like it was the first time. They were just like, I can't believe I'm in the presence of greatness. Just off the entrance, I was like, this guy's the biggest fucking star in the world. What is this?
Yeah, that was amazing.
Michael Jackson. He was Michael Jackson.
He felt like Michael Jackson. Yeah.
That was amazing. The crowd's reaction to it, singing his whole theme song when he came out. Him coming out, standing mid-ramp with the Mexican flag. That was fire.
Brother, this guy is on a different level. This guy went to WWE before, and it was nothing. Like, life was different then, and everything's changed. But, like, man, what is this?
I think that's also part of what made this feel so special, because if you do know the history with Sin Cara and him having that short-lived run with WWE and how that went, and the fact that didn't deter him, he's still a massive star, probably a bigger star now than he was back then.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
Mystico seems like a different. If you didn't remind me that was formerly in Sin Cara, I would have never. That just seems like a completely different person. I've seen him wrestle other places in so long that Sin Cara is just something that doesn't exist to me anymore.
Right. Yeah. Right. He's been all over America at this point as Mystico again.
Yeah. He famously said that they didn't let him wrestle his style over there, and that's part of why it didn't work. And you kind of see it more and more. You've seen him outside of the company, like, they had him going at half speed over there.
Definitely.
WWE not letting you wrestle your style or letting you actually wrestle? No way.
Then it became Hands Sin Cara, and he started putting hands on people. Another different story for another day.
Yeah,
I think
weird time over there, buddy.
I like the structure of this match because I've seen a lot of people maybe complaining, but I'm like, this is a classic,
very
Mexican,
very lucha libre
main event. The biggest star in the fucking company has got all the sympathy in the world, and Max is just doing rake Mystico's eye, then go taunt, body slam Mystico, then play to the crowd. Like it's just like classic heel shit.
This was with people that were complaining about this. I was like, how much wrestling have you guys watched? Because we've seen this done so many times in front of this kind of crowd, and it works. It works for a reason
every time.
Hurt
MJF match.
Yeah, Hurt Syndicate came out looking like big, massive stars as well. Bobby had the all white on, clean, bro. That guy was
I hate
clean.
that Bobby Lashley be dressing. Call him Salad, bro. All three of them look so good.
His suits are always fire. Bobby's suits specifically, though, are, I don't know where this man be shopping at, but them shits be clean, brother.
They need to dress MJF too, because he looks like a ball caddy with them, and it pisses me off.
Well, he is Happy Gilmore's son, so
I don't care. I don't care. Dress nice. You want to be in the Hurt Syndicate? Play the part. You dressing like you're about to go pick up balls off the green. Get out of here.
But I mean, he's putting on his guys gear now. Come on, man.
That gear this week was atrocious.
You need a nice suit and then worry about MVP's gear, because that was a very meaty piece of gear, if you ask me.
I think Bobby and MVP in particular, like, oh no, we're going to Mexico. We can't just hit them with the usual suits. We got to come with some fly shit. Like, I was looking like, yo, they went in the back of the closet like this one.
I've been saving this one.
Not the back of the closet, because that's where all the nice stuff go.
Yeah, bro. Bobby didn't give a fuck about nothing. He came clean as hell. I wouldn't think to put all white on to go to Mexico, and Bob was like, nah, fuck that.
He had the Easter Sunday special, bro. He was ready.
Not the Sunday best.
Sunday best. Them dudes was clean, man. Max came out doing his usual America rocks in a foreign country. It's very formulaic, but it works. It works for a reason. And I knew that that's what the bag they were going to get into, especially because Max has done shows in Mexico and he's done this gimmick before. And going up against Mystico, who this crowd loved, it worked. It hit.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I think that it could have just been it. Mystico could have just had an entrance and went to the ring, waved his hand, and went back, and it would have been heat. But adding on to that, the finish, I understand, because maybe they're getting into another match, like doing the low blow thing. Initially, I was like, oh, that's not really how you want to end the match, but it feels like it's leading to something else.
Yes. That's what I thought.
MJF win, though. I hate to say it like that. If it's gonna be Mystico versus MJF, unless it happens in Mexico,
I think it might happen in Mexico again, personally.
I'd be with it. MJF could eat some crow.
I'm not so sure that this is leading to MJF winning, because I think that they built this match this way for a reason, to get all the sympathy on him, especially in Mexico. We know how Tony feels about Mystico. He's talked about this multiple times. And that's why when people were saying, oh, they just did this to Mystico to bury him, I didn't come across feeling that way at all. I thought
feel like a burial.
This was, to me, the best match on the show outside of the Fatal 4-Way. And I thought story-wise, this got the most time and they did the most with it. So I didn't really understand why people were saying that. Like the mask angle at the end, I thought that was to get sympathy on
classic Mexican wrestling heel shit. Like take the guy's mask, really get them sympathy on him.
Yeah, I thought this was classic foreign heel in Mexico way to build up to the next match. I don't think we're done here. I think we're possibly going to get the next match at All In or All Out.
I can see that.
Oh, All In. Mystico at All In. Yeah.
In Texas.
Texas.
Yeah. I kind of feel like
some heat. That would be some heat.
That is fire, actually. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this was a very fun match. All of the stuff on the outside, the the stuff on the ramp, of course, the aftermath. When you let the dogs off the leash, man, I was like, dang, get off of him. Why they beating him? When they got in there and started beating up on Mystico, I was like, dang, get off of him. Leave him alone.
Like, he already got his mask taken off. What are we doing? Stop.
I'm like, does my guy have friends? Yes or no? It kind of took him a while to get down there.
Yeah.
You gonna run down on Bobby Lashley?
Yeah, I mean, you making points.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna run down on Bobby Lashley at all.
Yeah, of course, the babyface came to help it. So if this isn't like a one-on-one match, this could lead to Kevin Knight teaming up with Mystico to face the Hurt Syndicate All In, something like that. I do think there'll be another match. I don't think that's the end of this.
Me too. But yeah, that Mystico entrance was crazy. Like, if you haven't seen anything from the show, you have to fucking watch that. That's just crazy.
You would swear Mystico was Selena at that point. They were singing, crying. It was
crying. People were crying.
Yeah.
It reminded me of that guy who cried when CM Punk came back to AEW. There was a shot of yes.
Yeah, they're like, hey, no, this shit's different to me, man. Y'all don't understand.
It's really me, damn it.
Yeah. But yeah, wonderful match. Great entrance. Great traditional wrestling. And that's what Max really excels at, like being like traditional heel. And I thought he worked this match very well. Then we got the Fatal 4-Way for 4 million pesos. Tony Khan really likes his big prize matches, man.
His bit with putting up a random $100,000.
It's a tax write-off. Relax. Like, he knows what he's doing. Tony Khan knows what he's doing.
Into it.
Yeah, he really likes doing this. But man, this Fatal 4-Way was so good. You had the Hoopers in there, so I knew what this was gonna be. Ricochet, of course, is Ricochet. Leo Rush, you get him in there, he gets to do that misdirection and all this crazy flippy running at crazy speed, breakneck speed stuff he does. He was fantastic. And then we also had Mascara Dorado and Hologram, which, you know, for a guy
talk about moving fast, this guy Hologram was running so fast at one point, like I couldn't catch him. Like I don't know what he be doing, what he be eating, what he be drinking, but he's a different human being under there.
Yeah. For a guy that's really an AEW creation in Hologram, and they've done the work on Collision to really build him up and to get fans invested in him. I was surprised how much the Mexican crowd liked him. I was like, I don't know how much they're familiar with him or how much they were familiar with him before he became Hologram. Of course, I've seen him wrestle quite a bit before he became Hologram, so I was already a fan. But I don't know if that was the case with the Mexican audience, but they were excited for this guy when he came out. And I thought he stole the show. He was phenomenal.
He did.
Yeah, he always steals the show. It's unbelievable the way that these Mexican fans have seen some of the best, craziest lucha in the world, and this guy's still doing innovative stuff to blow them away. That's how you know he's in a different league. Just like little easy spots that are just on the mat with Rico or with Leo is like the craziest thing you've ever seen in your life. I thought all these guys started going 1,000,000 miles per hour. When Dorado gets into his I'm a bad motherfucker too and I can flip, like there's not a lot of luchadors in the world that are better than him. The fact that Ricochet is historically known, one of the best high flyers of all time, and like it's not flipping for most of the match, is just always so funny to me. Like he could be in here, he could do as many flips as anybody here, but that's not how he works at this point, and I love it.
He's Ricochet. He's no longer Prince Puma. Nice try.
Yeah. He did some great heel work in this match. The stuff with him and Leo trying to rub him on his head endearingly, and he got really mad at him, and that turned into them pushing each other back and forth. Really funny stuff. That portal bomb Hologram hit at the end of the match. Clean.
Stiff one. A lot of spins, a lot of stuff. But yeah, Hologram being the controversy that it was when he was created and what it means and all that, from that to where he is now, is insane. I don't think creating your own luchador would lead to this, but if you put a guy as amazing as that under the mask, this is what happens.
I don't think it should be a problem to create if someone wrestles a luchador style and they're not from Mexico and he signs up, what's
I mean, that's basically what they're doing. Axiom, and Axiom's great.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like if they're wrestle luchador and they're not from Mexico, what's the bro? Gringo Loco is not from Mexico, and he's one of the best bases. You know what I mean? Come on, like what are the rules?
Yeah. but love this match. This was probably match of the night for me.
Yeah, this shit was tight.
Yeah, go figure. You put a bunch of flippy guys out there in Mexico, it's gonna hit.
It's gonna slap. I don't understand that argument. People's like, oh, it's too many flippy dudes. You're a liar.
They was cooking.
You're a liar.
No such thing.
They were cooking. We got big massive star Mercedes Moné coming out with all of her belts to take on Zeuxis for the CML Women's Championship.
Baby.
Man, I wish this match got more time. I also kind of wish it was the main event so they could end with this because I thought it was such a good moment. And Toni Storm, we'll get into the aftermath stuff, but Toni is a big, massive star, and it just feels like everything she does hits at this point.
Yeah, I thought it could have went a little bit longer, but I love what we got out of it. It was my favorite kind of Mercedes post WWE run matches are just kind of gritty. They're a little bit like they're not as clean. It seems like a struggle. Both women are always like trying to end the match, and that's exactly what this felt like. Zeuxis was in there trying to knock Mercedes' head off for a lot of this.
Yeah,
he didn't give it. She's like, I don't give a fuck about this Mercedes. I'll beat her ass. We're in my home. We're in my promotion. Where I do my thing. I'm not gonna let this moment overcome me. But Mercedes is the greatest fucking women's wrestler of all time. So pressured means nothing to her. She'll go into your home at any promotion and take that championship. Fucking love the finish of this, of Zeuxis having her up second rope. Mercedes reverses her into like a flipping power slam off the second rope for the 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
Yeah. She's starting to do that thing that Okada does really well, where somebody is like, oh, I'm going to beat you so I can be the one. So the spotlight is on me. And so I'm going to come in there and give you all of my best offense. And then I don't know where she just pulls off this counter and just survives. She's done it multiple times to win a championship where she narrowly beats this person. But that's why I don't understand when people are like, oh, this is a Hogan run and she's
burying people. I'm like,
burying all these people. No, she's made a lot of these women look so good in defeat because she's narrowly beat them. I mean, just look how she beat Athena in the semifinals. Like she just narrowly got out of that match. And the same thing with the Jamie Hayter match. The way she countered at the end, she narrowly got out of that match. The way she beat
matches, same thing. Barely got out of there.
And so it's the same thing here. Like whatever that double underhook move Zeuxis hit her with, where she lifted her straight up and then
she caught her out of midair.
It almost looked like a modified Death Rider. Like, girl, are you Moxley? Like,
yo, the strength it takes to catch Mercedes upside down was, man. These ladies were hooping. I don't care what nobody say.
Yeah, I don't understand the comparison to Hulk Hogan when it comes to Mercedes or even Becky. First of all, Hogan was a literal racist. Let's start there. Second of all, these girls are putting up numbers, and you don't complain when Okada does it. You don't complain when someone like an Adam Cole or an MJF does it. But if a woman has the audacity to have more than one belt, and not for nothing, y'all weren't trying to check for none of these women outside of going to go complain that Mercedes is wrestling this person. Please, these are people who are, like you said, you're watching these matches. Hayter looks strong because what do you mean she barely beat you and she got 9, 20, 80 belts? You know what I mean? Like, I'm here for it. I think the Monet slander needs to stop. And if you're going to slander her, wrestle her.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can't do it. All right.
Yeah. I thought Zeuxis looked really good here.
She did.
My only gripe is, like I said, I wish the match was longer. But yeah, I thought that this was the same thing that Mercedes has been doing this entire run as a heel, where she just narrowly gets out of there, and then afterwards she's like, ha ha ha, I got you again.
No, literally, I barely won, but I won. That's all that matters.
Listen, I'm not mad at it.
She does that very good, and I think that's why it's hard to do like a dominant heel champion and also still have them doing the chicken shit heel stuff. But the reason it works is because of the way she builds her matches and the way she's been winning her matches. Like she looks like a great wrestler, but she's still, the way she's catching them off guard with these counters and going, ha, 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 you saw it, ha, ha, I got you again.
I've always never seen her as like a chicken shit heel, but more of a, if I actually have to wrestle, I'm gonna be upset.
If I have to pull out my A game, I will. But I'm not trying to.
I'm trying to chill.
I'm trying to style on y'all, and y'all are trying to like actually fight me. and put pressure on me. Like, no, get away from me. Leave me alone. But yeah, man, great finish, like you said, the counter in midair, and then she's getting her crowning moment, getting strapped up, and she's got all her belts. She's struggling to put all her belts on her arm, and then we get the video package of Tony in Mexico walking around with the Carmen Sandiego fit, and
oh my
bro,
god, Tony Storm.
Tony is
so
Tony
funny,
is just
man.
great. She just does like effortless things, and it always hits. Like this video package was so cool. Her showing up behind her and sniffing her and hitting the German. And I mean, it wasn't like she hit like this incredibly intricate move. She just made this German look so emphatic, and that visual of all of her belts flying in different directions.
That was also really
so great.
I want to know why Tony Storm can't. Nothing seems corny anymore. Like I feel like if another wrestler did the exact same thing, it would be corny. But the fact that she does it, it works for her character every time.
That's
I have a theory, and it's just a theory, a game theory. But like Tony Storm straddles that line of almost drag queen, where if I'm delusional enough, you'll believe it. Because we dead believe the Undertaker was out here doing no one questioned it. No one questioned it at all. In fact, if someone said, oh, so he's really a zombie, you'd be like, yo, shut up. Don't
chill. Like, why you doing that? Why you doing all that?
Okay. Is Tony Storm a deranged lady who's stuck in the 1920s who's profiting off of HLA? Absolutely. But do I want you to say that? Shut the hell up.
Yeah, it's the right level of camp, and I think that I think that's what works, and that's why I never understood when people get upset with the women when they say that they've been influenced by the Divas era, because there's so much camp from that Divas era. There's so many wrestlers that, whether you like them or not, they were influenced by Maurice or Kelly or some of these other women, and so when you look at Tony, she's done such a great modernized version of some of these things, and being able to do the sexual stuff and do it on her own terms, and make it funny and campy or zany. It just feels like all of this is unique to her because nobody else in the company is doing it.
Right. I think that's the difference. I mean, and she's
right back. My cats are doing stuff.
Oh no, you're good. She's established herself in a different level that she has to be the corniest thing of all time for it to come off corny, and it's not the corniest thing of all time.
Yeah, I think her humor and her facial expressions does a lot to sell it as well. I just think she's great, man, and
she's amazing.
The right reaction she got when she showed up was, like I said, big, massive star.
That's why my thing has changed, because I was like, Mercedes is winning. Like, I've been thinking that since she won the Owen. Actually, since she was entered in the Owen, I'm like, she's gonna go and beat Tony. But like, these reactions Tony gets, Phil, are crazy, dog. Like, fans are going ham when she shows up. The internet's going ham when she shows up. Like, she's just universally loved at this point.
Yes.
My bad. This cat was digging in the garbage. So
but yeah, that visual of the belts flying around and people adding the sonic rings to it. Even the AEW account at this point has added the sonic rings to it.
That's
very
too
funny.
funny.
Mercedes rolling out and then jumping into that fan's arms and basically, oh, get away, stay away, leave me alone.
You saved me, but you're a peasant. Don't touch me.
Mercedes would, like you said, Phil, she couldn't figure out where to put all the belts before Tony showed up. It's great. Like, just her not having enough hands. I wanted to have it run around her neck. Like, this is great. I don't think this is it.
Wacky cartoon stuff. Oh, I am going to hold this cat if somebody said that, because she was literally it's food time and she's literally going to dig in the garbage. So I'm going to hold this cat the whole time until the end of Grapsody.
Great finish to that. All of the stuff, adding Mina in there. I do think that Mina is going to get a Mercedes match before All In. I'm starting to think more and more she is going to challenge for the TBS title, and I do think she's going to win. Something about it is telling me that's going to be the case. We got that rando report this week that the reason Athena's not on this card is because they were planned for a Mariah match, and that didn't happen, and so that's why they don't have anything for Athena. I don't know what to believe with that. We also got the SRS report on Fightful Select that Mercedes and Tony has been the plan for quite some time, and so it certainly feels that way. And if you're gonna treat All In like your biggest show, you got to put the two biggest stars in the division on this show.
That's the only thing that got me, because I'm like, if they paid off Mariah and Tony at the fucking Hollywood ending, so we wouldn't have gotten back to it at All in Texas. It wouldn't even have made sense. And like, if you want to put all your best feet forward, all the biggest stars against each other, Mercedes and Tony was always what they were going to lead, because these are the two biggest stars in your women's division. So that those rumors are like, oh, I don't know. It sounds
I don't know. I would take that with a grain of salt, personally. But yeah, great match, great finish. We got the big multi-man match to end the show. The Death Riders taking on some baby faces, and yeah, all of the baby faces in this match are very popular. Will Ospreay is Will Ospreay. He's out of here. As soon as he came out there, that crowd fucking exploded for him.
They gave it to the big Powerhouse Hobbs got it. I was like, wait a second, they're just the Mexican fans really fucking they love it here. Swerve got a gigantic pop too. I'm like, yo, the baby faces are fucking over here.
I also feel like Swerve is I feel like Swerve is more over than people realize.
Massive
whether
star.
He's so over.
Yeah.
Big star. I don't care. Yeah. I've seen people try to argue he's one of the biggest stars in the company right now.
He is.
Agreed.
And I've seen people argue about his position with him not winning the title at Dynasty. And I'm like, no, that hasn't hurt him at all. I think that he's, if anything, he's gotten more popular since then.
Swerve is one of those guys that, God forbid anyone got injured. If you put the belt on Swerve, if Swerve randomly ready, like,
you could put that belt on Swerve tomorrow. And
exactly.
People would be in.
Yep. Like that's the place that he's entered. And I think being next to Ospreay does a lot. Being still people still kind of want them to put a bow on him and Hangman. Like it's probably going to grow even more, I think, at this point.
Yes. But yeah, Death Riders, the team of Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, Beast Mortos, and of course the young
guy this week.
a little news around him this week. Little news.
Just a little bit popular. So just a big story on TMZ. No big deal.
Yeah.
It's sad that I don't even know what you guys are talking about. I mind my business too hard.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're talking about Mercedes and Beast Mortos, that news that came out this week.
Oh, I thought that was a joke.
That was not a joke.
I mean,
confirmed
on TMZ. Confirmed.
Confirmed.
I mean, have you seen the Beast Mortos? Come on now.
Yeah.
He keeps trying to tell y'all without showing his face. Like, I've seen him putting the selfies online. Like,
listen,
I've seen what he on.
He lucha, we lucha, baby.
Now this guy's about to become a lawyer. He is a lawyer.
He passed the bar.
This guy's doing pretty good right now, I'd say.
Pretty good. Yeah, I've seen it. People were posting his pictures with his mask on, watching Mercedes wrestle in her match yesterday. I've seen it.
I see Okada sweating when Mercedes was next to him. I would fold like wet paper in the water if Mercedes was next to me. So that doesn't surprise me. Come on.
Listen.
Yeah, it was a week of that kind of stuff. That news dropping, and then after the match on Wednesday, people were posting tons of videos of Mercedes like, hey, you guys relax.
Hey, y'all need to chill, though, for real.
She was like, thank you to my man. They were like, hey.
Y'all need to chill. I see y'all freaks.
Yeah. But yeah, this was a fun way to end the show. My only like minor gripe is I thought the women should have went on last. Because I thought that the right now the women's feud feels hotter, and it felt like that was a bigger moment than,
especially with the Mercedes winning the belt. You know what I mean? It probably made a lot of sense to kind of put the stamp on the show that way.
Yeah.
Only thing about the whole show that I had a minor complaint about is someone who watches CMLL pretty often. They have the camera, they have the crowd on camera like often. Like if you watch a CMLL show, like after every move almost, they'll go into a crowd shot, reaction shot. That element wasn't prevalent on the show on Wednesday. I understand why, because it's an AEW show and it's moving different, but I just would have liked that element. That's just nitpicking because it was a great show. I think everything was amazing. I think they hit all the parts that they should have.
Yeah, I thought that the women should have gotten more time in their match, and I would have liked to seen at least one more women's match on the show as well.
Yeah.
Like we were saying in Ask Grapsody, I was really shocked that we didn't see Thunder Rosa here, like Mexico, and I think that was a missed opportunity. I think Thunder Rosa should have been on this card.
Like, how do you know if Thunder on the card?
You've been given
that was a choice.
You've been giving Tekla these showcase matches. You could have just put Thunder Rosa Tekla on this card, like something.
I have a theory, and I don't know if it's real, and this is just how I feel in my heart. This is based on no evidence. But y'all don't like Thunder Rosa over there. And I don't know what the hell she did. Because every time she has an opportunity to do something to be a staple and people love her. I F that girl. You know what I mean?
Remember earlier when I said there's a deeper conversation to have?
Oof.
About Athena? About Athena? I don't think. No. Are we? Are we doing this? No, we're not doing this. No,
listen, I gotta feed my cats because this white cat is in the kitchen turning up. And people talk about Cresta make a 6-hour show. There's not that much wrestling to talk about.
We are not making a 6-hour show.
No, sir, buddy.
30 minutes. You know we have 30 minutes. 30.
That's it. That's all.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, especially since Thunder Rosa came back, they have not pushed her at the level. Like, look at when you think about how they were pushing her when she first signed with the company and just how hot she was at that time period. They haven't been pushing her at that level since she came back from injury.
No, absolutely. Even before she was on injury, they weren't really pushing her like that.
Yeah, the championship reign wasn't booked.
Yeah, that's true. It wasn't that. Anything kind of post Brit stuff wasn't as great as she should have been.
Yeah.
Man.
But glad she's on Collision tonight. I do still think it was a big missed opportunity to not have her on this show in Mexico.
Yeah, I think she was on the they had the ROH show afterwards, but they should have put him on the main show.
She should have been. I've seen people say that, but she was on ROH. She should have been on Dynamite.
Yeah, it's not the same.
There are some people. Well, let me not say that. I will say that while I do like Athena as Ring of Honor champion, she's the only person in Ring of Honor that feels important. And that's part of the problem. And if you're going to treat her that important, bring her up to your women's roster. Toni Storm shouldn't be your only single star that kind of feels important besides Mercedes. So I think in that regard, if Ring of Honor is going to make everyone feel like Athena, sure, she could stay there. But Athena seems to be the supernova in a sea of black, literally in a sea of black. Respectfully.
At least they're doing Thunder Rosa and Athena at the Despot for Dishonor. It feels like that's fine.
Maybe
Thunder Rosa don't even go there technically.
Nobody goes there.
Nobody goes there. They all go to AEW. They're just in the undergrad class.
Yeah, I was gonna respond to something. I don't think I should. I will move on.
Thank you, Phil, for being the adult for us. Because me and Reg have a gun out.
Not an adult.
For legal purposes, that's a joke. He is very much an adult.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I start when people start making the excuses of, oh, well, she messed up her opportunity or this or that. And it's like, it's okay to also criticize how they're using her.
Yeah.
It's okay to say that this looks away because it does. It looks away.
That's the most politest way to. This looks away.
It looks away. I don't know, but yeah, I thought it was fun. I thought this was a fun show. Like I said, AEW is having a great year. I think this build to All In has been very special. All of the elements are coming together. All of the people that they want to feel like a big deal feel like a big deal. This feels like a great way to continue Hangman's journey with the company for 6 years. You gotta put that belt on this guy.
That's it.
It's just a bunch of other stuff you're setting up. All of it's hitting so far. The Kenny Omega stuff and Okada. This feels like a big deal now too. I'm ready, man. Very excited for this show. Flight is booked, ready. We got new merch on Grapsody.bigcartel.com.
Yes,
if you are going to the show, we have a shirt for you for this show.
Come on, Grapsody merch.
I'm gonna be in Texas. Just booked my flight this week. I'm ready to go eat some fucking barbecue and watch some wrestling. I think I'm gonna. I don't know what I'm doing at all. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I'm pretty sure if you order this shirt within the next few days, it should get to you in time by All In.
Dope.
I used to live in Texas. I don't want to go back there.
Mm.
I don't want to.
What you know about them Texas boys?
I mean,
it's gonna be
not
hot.
enough. I don't.
Not enough.
Let's get into a few super chats before we get up out of here. The homie Laurent Ford with a very generous super chat says, "Happy Grapsody Day, gentlemen, and Cresta. Really enjoying the show." Laurent, that's so nice of you. Really appreciate you coming to the show and supporting as always and submitting this generous super chat.
Come on, Laurent.
Appreciate you.
What a guy. He also has another one where he says, "My only issue with doing Tony Mercedes at All In is that they should be doing more than one big singles match for the women on that show."
That part.
We all are in agreement about that.
I hope that they do another women's singles match, but I also think that would be a good place to do a casino battle royal for the women if they want it as well.
Yeah, they should do something like that. And they've been having so many of these tag team matches with like Meg and Penelope and all those, Anna and Ty. They need to get an opportunity too.
If they wanted to introduce the tag titles right before All In, I think they easily could do that.
What happened to those tag title belts, those little medals that Diamante and old girl? Oh, sorry.
The little medals.
Oh, we don't talk about her partner that much.
I'm just asking questions. I'm sorry. I'm just asking questions.
No, we don't do that.
We don't speak that name.
We don't talk about the medals like that either. The person who developed that tournament over there either. We don't talk about any of that.
Yeah, man. He said, actually, that's Defense of the Dark Arts, Voldemort. We don't talk about that.
We don't speak of it. We don't speak about that.
We do not speak about that. I don't even remember that. Actually, we erased all that footage. It's gone. The homie Shot Time Spur says, "I took a whole nap and y'all are still going." This isn't even that long of an episode. We haven't even been going that long.
It's only 3 hours on my count.
Only 3 hours.
But yeah, still here, Shot Time Spur, and still appreciate you. And then the homie LeBron with another generous super chat says, "Is it just me or have they internally or not de-emphasized the former AEW women's champions?" You could say Britt, Tony, or Britt Thunder we were just talking about. There's a couple other ones.
I think some of it is just unfortunate situations, like the Rio situation. It's difficult to tell because she's been injured.
Cheetah.
The Nyla, I don't get why they don't use Nyla more. And I can see why you would feel that way, but I don't think that's the case with all of them, especially Rio. I think that was just injury situation, and then Cheetah's situation. I think she's got some visa issues. But yeah, Thunder Rosa for sure. I don't really get it. I don't get why they.
And one that Phil and I kind of scratch our head on pretty often, Deonna.
Yeah, Deonna Purrazzo's. I felt that way about Big Swole when she was there. Yeah. You should have put the title on her. Her feud with Britt Baker during the pandemic is some of the best stuff that lives rent free in my mind.
The homegirl, Layla.
Layla Hirsch.
Yeah. Why Layla Hirsch didn't really get.
Yeah, but I mean, out of the champions, Sheeta and Riho, those are understandable in a way. I don't get why they're not using Nyla more.
Nyla is such a good starter feud, even if so. They not to say they use her like Lance Archer, but also use her like Lance Archer. You really should be using Nyla Rose more.
Yeah, the Britt Baker stuff is, who knows when we'll see Britt Baker again. We got another report earlier this week about Britt, and she assured people via this report that she is still with the company. She's not going anywhere, but
because Coach got on his podcast trying to get his shit off.
Yeah, and so she assured people she's not WWE bound like people think.
Just make a podcast and just say stuff and people believe it.
That's a lot of people doing
It's starting to become a thing. They're just like, I used to be in the business, so I know. I mean,
it's been a thing.
My name is Cresta Star. I used to work for Def Jam, WWE, and AEW. Take my word for it, pal.
Yeah, just say it. Just take my word for it. I have people that call me, so don't check on any of my sources,
bro. Trust me, bro. I told y'all was talking to Dave Dash last night. Who said that?
Yeah. The funny thing is, we could easily do that and get away with it, but we
could.
Actually, no, we would. There are a lot of things.
No,
there are a lot of things I see other people do that I'm like, we definitely wouldn't get away with that.
Nah.
I will say, as long as I've been working at Fightful, I saw someone try that. No, y'all can't. No, we cannot. No, we cannot. We cannot.
Our issue is like, and if we say anything about AEW, they just assume that Will Washington told us. So it's like, this not even. I'm not doing that.
So, I'm here to joke. I'm not here to make.
These are bits. I don't want you guys to be like, oh, what did Will tell you? I'm not playing these games, dog.
You know what? Will told me the same thing because I'd told me, Ichiban. That's what Will told me. Ichiban, bitch.
That is all of our super chats. I appreciate everybody who submitted something today. Y'all are dope.
Yes. We've got some humper chats left, and then we are gonna ride off into the sunset.
Gundam style.
See, and you was crapping on me earlier. Now that song is stuck in your head.
Krista, I hate your guts. I can't believe you would do this.
Would you like another song instead?
No.
All right.
From Tony P says, Raw on the other hand was just a moment's fest of things we didn't want to see, from sadly Liv getting hurt to Goldberg returning to interference matches. The bright spots where Asuka's return, the last match, NXT has just been lacking for a bit now.
You watch NXT, Krista?
I watch some of it because of the TNA thing, but I don't. Tuesdays are the only day I really don't watch wrestling. So I don't watch NXT, but I will say what I do know about NXT. NXT got to do something because Triple H said, all the people I used to play with, Salucci's, give me my stuff.
Yeah,
give
he said,
me my stuff. I need that now.
Yeah.
While he said that, it's kind of funny. I'm not a Johnny Gargano fan, but where's your DIY, huh? Huh, pal? You wanted it so bad. You thought I'd be better.
Oh, pal. He did hit him with the give me that beat, fool. It's a full-time Jack move.
Straight up.
I'm thinking the same way about Karrion Kross. All these people that you used to do good with NXT, you call them up there, and now look at them. Come on, knock it off. Knock it off.
Yeah, he hit him with that with Jordan. And don't worry, I'll give it back soon. Have a little fun.
Let's see what you're gonna do up here.
That NXT call-up stuff is gone now. It's me, Papa H. Psych.
And I like how they've done, like with Jordan's case, they have him down there for a couple of weeks, and they're like, actually, this is not they're not really staying here.
Yeah, you thought.
I mean, yeah, but then like, what happens to your main event scene? Metaphor was literally like your tag team for the girls, and you fired Jakara. It's like, what are we doing?
I know. I won't get into it, but I know.
Philip, the voice of reason.
I seen some vibes, man. Like,
that's not a fact.
Some people acting like they don't see it, man. People are like, everything down there is main roster ready, buddy. Some of this stuff is not gonna make it through the door.
No, some of that is not main roster.
You're not coming in here with them shoes on. It's a bouncer.
Yeah,
you're not coming in here with that shirt on.
Nah, you can't wear fitteds over here now. Not on Wednesdays.
Some people though, it's kind of like, yeah, you say that, but it's poor Jordan who doing the Lord's work, who's gonna be out of there, and it's like, who's gonna put her in her place?
They'll be fine. Jordan's definitely gonna be on the main roster eventually.
Oh yeah, I don't know why she went to NXT in the first place, but whatever.
Yeah, what's going on there? She can work better than most of the people here, men and women.
Chill out. It gave me chill out TNA. All right, chill out TNA.
Yeah, straight up. You can cook over there, but like you can't really cook. Like you had a stove and like a grill over there. You got an air fryer over here. So
you got a hot plate over here. Okay,
do what you can do best with this. All right.
But Jordan's still cooking on that hot plate like it's Benihana's.
Jordan will cook a 3-course meal on that hot plate, no problem.
I'm a Jordan Grace stan, and in my hardest of hearts, I want to see that small, muscly woman against that tall, muscly woman of Bianca Belair. I need that in my veins. I need that.
What do you think about this theme song change?
I haven't heard it. I heard the reasoning behind it. Bark, bark, Braun Breaker, but like
bark. Bark. Yeah, I seen Jordan trying to defend it, and people were like, "I don't know, Jordan. This ain't hitting."
It's just generic, man.
Jordan Grace gave me the same. I'm defending it like when Keith Lee tried to defend Bearcat.
Yeah. It's not so bad. It's not so bad, but it is kind of bad.
Well, it kind of is.
That bad, but it's actually not bad.
Just because the old one, like you knew it was Jordan Grace. Now it's just a song.
This feels very generic. It doesn't feel unique to her at all.
Yo, Reg, raps. Why not have Reg just do songs for y'all? They can't he produce.
When I do
Come
that,
on.
they be see. Look, don't get me in trouble.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get you a job. Sorry.
I don't know if they want him to have a job over there. They're gonna treat him like Punk if he get a job over there.
So
Yeah, they gonna be hitting you with the sold out. They about to come with all the receipts. They gonna bring all your tweets.
Saudi tweets
Reg,
up.
that's
in a
crazy.
second.
You
They
gonna
gonna
write
put
songs?
all your tweets on the Summer
Reg,
Jam
songs,
screen,
fuck.
buddy.
You mean
You
this
also say
guy?
this?
This you?
Yeah, I will
this
hire
is
him,
me.
but guess what you make? You making Barney songs, pal.
This
I
is
would
wait.
me, nigga. I will go to Rydia.
not ready.
Radio.
Ooh.
We got more from Tony P. He says, after getting the CMLL belt, I'm now convinced Mercedes is losing at All In, and interest in the coming story of her decline when she starts losing her belts, who they let beat her, and the possible journey it takes on to get back to the world title. I'm starting to believe the same thing. I thought, like, watching it this week, I was like, I think there's a very good chance Tony could beat her. And I did not feel that way a few weeks ago. Maybe the story is just working and it's supposed to be this way to make you think anybody can win, but something about it, man, it's starting to feel like Tony's gonna win.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
some feeling in my gut I got that I was like, I don't know. I don't know if it's because people are growing even fonder of Tony Storm somehow every week or what it is, but I was like, there's a big chance that she might go over in this match.
I thought it as like if
Mm.
Mercedes does win, it's not going to be for long because you can't have the TBS and the world title. And I get it, but I could see her. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a hot second, and then somebody else knocks her off because you got too many belts, too many title defenses. You prepared for Zeuxis, but it was actually Harley Cameron or something like
Yeah.
that. I could see that happening, so you get the big moment.
She's got too many targets on her, and I feel like she's gotten through too many of these matches by narrowly escaping. And I feel like something about this match, and I also feel like there's something to the way that they've taken Megan away from Tony and the way that Tony beat Megan Bain. I wouldn't be surprised if Megan Bain is the one that beats Tony Storm.
I wouldn't hate that. I wouldn't hate that at all. That's a good call.
Yeah, I see
Megan Bain could destroy her.
I see it.
Like,
I see it.
I would not be shocked at all. But
The way that they had the little thing earlier this year, yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and
And
they didn't go back
Tony-
to it afterwards because they
didn't.
went and detoured another direction.
Mm-hmm.
and
It's
if
only
Tony wants to do a gimmick change, you could have Megan Bain beat her normal, like literally what Deanna should have done.
yeah, and I the way they're doing certain things, the way that Megan and Penelope keep losing these matches where Penelope is overstepping her bounds and she's out there losing the matches. It's only a matter of time before Megan Bain slams her through a table or something. Like, I'm tired of you.
Die. She's going to die. And
She's out of here. She's out of here because Megan as a baby face is where it's going to be at. Also,
Yeah.
So
You think? I think she's such a good
Mhm.
heel. Like, she's so imposing.
nah, people want to cheer this person. Have you seen her?
I mean, I have eyes. I have eyes. Okay, I have. Okay, I'm cheering because Happy Pride. I'm cheering. You know what I mean? But like, I have eyes. But I don't know. Megan could also be one of those situations where you're a bad guy, but I'm gonna like MJF.
Also, yeah.
I'm cheering for you regardless. You spit on me. You said something really problematic. Hey, I love you, MJF. It doesn't matter. I deserve that. I'm a poor.
Yes. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I can definitely see it too, Tony. It kind of feels like the more and more I look at this, the more and more I feel like Tony could win.
Yeah, no, I totally see it.
I want Mercedes to win, but I think Tony will win because I do think the long-term plan is Megan versus Tony. I agree with you.
Yes.
It'll be Mercedes' first loss. Like you said, the belts will just start melting off of her.
And she'll be fine.
She'll be fine. Yeah. Tony also says, then we finally get the story beat of one of the rivals saving the other in a roundabout way, of course, with Hanger saving Swerve. A pop that will happen when one saves the other, but it is done on purpose. Yeah, we'll eventually get there.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're very clearly keeping them away from each other to get to that moment.
Right.
It'll be a BTE and buck hunting, and that's where it's going to be like, oh, you're actually my friend. Okay.
He also says, hopefully when I am listening to you. Sorry. Oh, I skipped one, Tony. Sorry. He says, then we get the cherry on top to the end of the week. Tonight's tag got Tekla versus Queen again with Athena part of it as well. Hope it leads to an all-in match for her. I really wonder from Dave's report how badly May leaving messed up some of the stories, if true. Yeah, I would, like I said, I would take that with a grain of salt. The fact that Athena is on Collision gives me some hope that something could happen here. The fact that she's very publicly said that she wants to be on this show. That's why I'm like, if you just even do a casino battle royal and put her in that, something to get Athena on that card.
$100,000 pesos.
Get that money in there. I mean, considering they had her at the launch party or whatever that they had there, like, come on, it's Texas, like, come on.
That's her hometown. Come on.
Don't do this.
Tony P also says, hopefully when I am listening to you, it would be back in my home watching Stardom because I seen it was an eventful with Nuge getting themselves a new champion and Sari. I am interested to see what that leads to in August in London. Have a great weekend. Yeah, appreciate you at all, Tony.
Appreciate that, Tony.
I will not have a good weekend. Don't tell me what to do.
From Van Twin Blade, Grand Slam was amazing. All caps, explanation. The Fed could never. They tried. It was mid. Anyway, Saturday. Nah, hitting the J. Anyway, I'm KI double.
So anyway.
I'm KI double.
He said, anyway, I'll be going to see Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson with the fam. Should be a good show. Cody Lane versus Donovan Dijak for the crown on July 27th. Get down here, Phil.
Get down on it.
Come on.
Pay for Phil's flight, though.
Hey, man. For Rafael Garcia, they really robbed us of Renaru Suzuki for a Cena parody promo. I'm sorry, but even after a week, Kase Negro Ray is still egregious. LOL.
That's so funny.
Aside from that, with Mercedes going after the women's championship, what will they do with the TBS title? I'm telling you, I think there's a very good chance that Mina could beat her for that belt.
We love Mina. Everybody loves Mina. And then Mina could lose to Harley.
Yeah.
That's soon. The pay-per-view is soon. I don't know if they'll do it before, but it's coming. And I think it is going to be Mina just because they've had her. She's been watching Mercedes since she was officially signed to AEW. Like, she has a connection to her.
Yeah. And our last Humper chat from Current Veronica is not good. I'll post Thunder Rosa's entrance at Arena Mexico and for Ring of Honor's Global Wars on the Grapsody Discord. I did not see it, so I have no idea what you're talking about.
Thunder Rosa not being on the main card on Wednesday is. I still think that is a.
That's a bit egregious.
That was a choice.
It's a bit egregious.
Like, if you have a Mexican star, you should probably.
And like, she's one of the guys. Like, if anyone out of there is the woman, it's her. Like
wasn't she on Spanish commentary for like a long time? So
someone who's very proud of their Mexican heritage too. Choices.
There's something going on there. We have one last super chat also. The other Mike V says, Reg, is Bandito made in CMLL now after pinning Mystico? I think it sounded like it. The crowd was very into Bandito and what he was giving up. It feels like there was a couple of guys like they talked about with Hangman, maybe Bandito, Hologram, that like are going to be called back because of what they did. So yeah, I think so. It sounds like it. It looks like it. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know. Bandito, man. There's no point where I've gone to see this guy wrestle and he has not been over. I've seen him on
everywhere.
I've seen him on TNA shows here in Chicago on the West Side, and bro, this guy is.
There's no reason for Bandito to be that good. Like, he's just really good. Like, even if he didn't have a gimmick and just wrestled, he's fantastic.
Ooh, boy, that guy came out with the white on, with the big sombrero. I was like, yeah, bro. I don't know. I hope AEW knows what they have in this guy, man.
That first stare down with him and Takeshita, and I was you know what? Maybe just
Reg is like, you know what? Yeah.
Maybe just that there. Because
honestly, that international fight, shit, at Claudio Castagnoli, United Nations of Doom. I want to watch that match. Come on,
them all in there. Have them fight.
Just, I just want to see what's gonna happen.
Bandito's on his way. He's a fucking star.
Yeah. Nah, Christian mariachi drip is crazy, bro.
Yeah,
it was fire.
That shit was heat.
I think this is our last Humper chat for sure. It's from Current Veronica is not good. He says, I've been fortunate enough to be in the building for Judas playing Over in Order, Wild Thing, Final Countdown, and Bodies. However, Mystico's entrance was truly epic. I wish they could sell the vibe/energy in a can. I don't do drugs, so.
I respect that.
I was gonna be like, that's right. You can't get the vibe.
Not Reg saying, well, maybe you should.
I'm like, but which ones have you tried though?
Listen, grab a cup, catch your vibe.
Grab a cup, catch your vibe.
Put some brown in that cup. You can them vibes will come right up.
Put some brown in that cup, throw some D's on that bitch, and you'll be all right.
Hey.
Just kidding. Don't do drugs. Nobody drink alcohol. It's disgusting.
Go to church, pray. Jesus is my drug. Hallelujah.
Pray. You got to pray just to make it today.
We got to pray.
That was a talent show special, bro.
That's a fact.
Hey, you pop up at so many talent shows.
No, you cooking though.
I was out at that time, bro. I seen it.
Showtime at the Apollo has taught me you cannot boo Jesus. So what you mean you gonna boo MC?
No, you cooking though, Phil. Because
that was the Hammer record that a lot of kids did in the talent shows, bro. I was there. I'm telling you.
They was doing like college step routines, but they were just they were like 8 years old. They come out with the black dress shoes. I'm like, no, it's lit. These motherfuckers about to tear it up.
was okay, but Kirk Franklin was too secular. But I digress.
Yeah, no, that was too much. Like, he was a little too like Hammer seemed cool. Kirk Franklin was like, no, you're a youth pastor. It's different. It feels
all my
different.
people say stall.
Nah.
Hella funny.
Yeah, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys for sending your super chats, your humper chats, spending another Saturday with us. Like I said, if you are so inclined, we do have new merch on our merch store. You can still get this hat on there. You can get our new shirt. Yeah, hopefully we'll see some of you guys in Texas for All In. Very excited for that show. Hopefully you guys are too. Excited for good wrestling, no matter where it is. I'm not shaming you. You know, maybe I will if it you know, at this moment I won't. But you know, appreciate you guys as always. This has been Grapsody. I'm Phil Lindsey. That's Righteous Reg. Of course, appreciate you for pulling up, Cresta. Always enjoy.
Cresty.
Anytime, y'all. Well, when I'm awake. Anytime, y'all.
Damn, Cresty, you going later tonight too? You said you're on the Collision post show.
I'm on my SP3 shit.
Sicko.
I'm on my SP3. SP3 does in the weeds. He'll do this, and then he'll come on and do. I'm on my SP3 shit.
Damn, man.
Oh, crazy.
Damn. Shout out to Jeremy.
Check out the homies tonight.
I heard. I seen Jeremy pulled up for that game.
You did.
Might not have been the best idea.
Oh man, we were talking about this on the Impact show. Apparently, the night before, Jeremy was like, "The tickets are cheap." You know,
so
I think his team is OKC. I don't watch.
Yeah, it is. He's a Thunder fan.
Apparently, it was okay until they got to about the fourth quarter, and then they were down by like 30.
No, I seen him take the picture of walking in. I was like,
damn,
this was a brave choice. Had to be this one, huh?
In the weeds. Put it like that.
Hey, you got to go to a game 6. That's lit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The last thing I want to do is go and see my favorite team get blown out.
I'm a cynical Chicago fan. I would be worried. Like, I'd be like, see, this is just my luck. The game I'm in the building, they're gonna lose. So I've been worried the whole time.
Again, old Knicks fan. I know what it is. The Knicks suck. Y'all play well until the fourth quarter, and then y'all start playing golf. I'm not gonna put myself out there. Why would I do that? I would be surprised if you won. Like.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, guys.
Is rich. Who said that?
Who said that? I don't know. But yeah, we are out of here, guys. Appreciate you.
Peace.
Bye.